It's
Oh my
it
God.
catches, it creeps up on you, man. You know,
I stare at screens all day
Yeah.
and it's a
straining.
struggle. It's like,
No, it's straining.
it's like a little screen, big screen,
Right, right.
medium screen. It's like large screen again. And I just
Imagine.
I have to actually be able to look off in the distance. Like
Yeah.
look off somewhere and then refocus and recenter just to like, sometimes my vision is just kind of, it's like sketchy sometimes. And I have floaters in my eyes. I always have. So the floaters in my eyes,
always good.
yo, they drive me nuts.
yeah.
When it's super bright out, I'll put the sun won't even be in my eyes, and I'll put the sun guard down, or the
Right.
visor down in the car, just to like the bright blue sky. It's just like all I see are
It
just
all-
dot 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 dots. I don't think there's anything you can do about them.
No, not really.
There's nothing you can do about it. You just
Yeah.
pray that you don't get any more.
You don't get it, right?
I mean, what happens? Like, do I?
Yeah, I mean, in that
I know you don't.
case-
You know, I know you're not in ophthalmology, but
No, I'm on the opposite hole.
literally the other side.
You know, I know that they do a lot of like graft implants now
You're saying
for
for
vision loss, but not for like the floaters and these kind of things.
I don't think and I don't think it's like total vision
Yeah,
loss, or
yeah,
it's not
yeah, it's not
qualified
loss,
as that.
yeah.
What's it qualified? What is it categorized as? Annoyance? Like, I don't-
Disturbance, I guess, because I mean, it doesn't impair you per se. But
no,
it can.
but every now and then, you start.
It can.
I always try to explain this to people that don't have them, because there are a lot of people that don't have them, but there's a lot of people that have them, and then you point it out and they go, "That's what that is."
Right.
Oh my God! I was like, that never bothered you, where you look that up.
Right.
I'm such a hypochondriac. The first time I have something kind of go wrong or something weird happens, I'm like,
Dr. Google.
It's got to be cancer.
Dr. Google.
It's got to be cancer. I got to be dying. Floaters.
The fuck is that?
You get them in your eye? I thought those were the only things that you left the toilet bowl. That's crazy.
What the fuck is this floating? I got this shit in my
It's
eye.
fucking crazy. How did it get up there? Yeah.
Hey, Ma.
Ma, what the hell? I was like, anytime something goes wrong, I blame my mom or my dad. I got like my dad has MS. Well,
Gotcha.
my dad was a ball player. He was a basketball
Gotcha.
player. All through St. John's, and he was actually a pretty
Oh,
good ball
man.
player. So every time I'm with him, I bust his chops. I'm like, yo, bro, what's up with these shitty ass genetics you gave me?
The fuck,
I'm
man?
5'8". Were you 6'1", hogging all the height?
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Not doing nothing, man.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
Or like I punched a wall when I was younger. It's like a dumbass. I punched a wall, broke my hand.
Right,
and
right.
I went to my mom. I go, what kind of fucking bones you grow for me? This is crazy.
Weak ass
This
bitch.
shitty ass
You weak
bones.
bitch.
God, what the hell, man? You couldn't have given me something a little sturdier? I could punch a pure cement
Yeah.
wall and
You
my
punched a
bones
little-
broke?
You punched a little thing. Now your hand is all.
Now I got they casted me like this. They casted me like this for a month and a half. That thing was funky.
How old were you?
High school.
Man, that's horrible timing.
And what's funny about it is I was a big handball player.
Okay. Yeah, that's
So
it.
I would play every single day, just nonstop money games, just cut class,
yeah.
this and that. I'd go
Absolutely.
outside. Who wants to play doubles? Who wants to rip
Oh,
one
yeah.
down, rub it down? So when I broke my hand, it's my main hand, my right hand. After about a week, I started playing with the cast.
Crazy.
And I was able to just smash the ball because the
you're
cast.
out.
So the cast starts breaking because I'm
Right,
smashing
right.
it with the handball.
You go back to the doctor.
So I go back to the doctor. He's like, yo, you got to stop playing handball. Like, first off, it's going to fuck the bones up
Right.
that are trying
Again.
to heal. Well, it was my 5th metacarpal boxer's fracture,
Shoot.
and it snapped and then went back into place. So there was no
Oh.
splintering, no nothing like that. It was just, we have to let it heal.
Let it-
But it healed in an arc. It healed like this. So if you feel
Yeah. Right there.
you feel it arced
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just said to him, I was like, I'm not gonna stop playing.
Right.
So it is what it is. Like however the hand turns is however
It is
the
what
hand's
it
gonna
is.
turn. But I would just rocket the ball because I'd even hit it with my forearm because the cast was up.
Because
to
I
like
was gonna say, if anything,
I'd hit it up to my forearm and just whop, bang! You'd hear the cast just smack the shit out of the ball. Everyone in the front of me would duck because they knew I was hitting it like 10 times harder. And
that's badass.
yeah, it was a good time, man. It was a good time. That was weird.
Shit that built you, you know?
Yeah, literally. Now I think it's stronger than it ever was.
Kids can't be doing that nowadays, bro.
No,
They're crying.
no. Oh yeah, well they'd be bitching about it. They'd be like, "Oh, I don't want to play handball. I gotta go outside." What? It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Yeah, the lack of
Crazy.
any drive to do anything besides sit in front. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Video game nerd over here. Love playing games.
Still,
Love staying inside. Love
you
that.
were out and about.
You got to be active. Like
I
you
mean,
have
I
to.
grew up in Queens, so like handball, like I just reminisce when you mentioned that, like just being in the parks, going just fucking dicking around at the park.
Yeah, dude, you just spend hours there. You don't even realize it.
Oh no, nothing.
You literally don't even realize how time is passing by. You're just so in the moment, so present. I'm almost envious of those times because you take them for granted when you get older.
Yeah.
When you start getting older and all the responsibilities start to stack up.
All the
and
time you're
dude,
just
messaging all fucking day. The amount of people that hit me up, and I feel bad because I don't answer everybody. But then I post on my Instagram, and they just look. They're like, "Well, he's posting." It's like
your business.
It's not the same. It's like sometimes I just post things just to post them to stay relevant in the algorithm. To be quite honest with you, Instagram, all this shit could go away. I wouldn't give two fucks. I'd care more because my clients need it for business, and that's my portion of my job.
Absolutely.
So that would mean something to me if it went away on terms of my money. But for me personally,
and for me, I don't care. I just started posting recently because the company I joined, and it gets me consults.
Isn't it crazy how that happens?
It helps, like out of nowhere. I posted one time. I'm thinking this is a stupid video. I don't do these things, man. And then boom, people started filling out intake forms. I had like 3 in one day. They said, no, I want Dr. Andrew Shehata. Even just with the colorectal fundraiser I posted, I said, fuck it, let me just put that video up, I had people I haven't spoken to in years. They're like, hey, I put $50 in. Good work. And people that I've been close with for boys, nothing. I'm talking about people just random, So that social media stuff, when you do it for the right way and for your business, it goes a long way.
Yeah, it has a higher purpose and it has a bigger meaning than what it's actually used for, which is
I don't care to post it. Like,
nah, I don't give a shit.
No.
You know what? I was talking to Kareth earlier this week. We were talking about it, and I had brought up that people that follow me now, they didn't realize back in the day. It was like, you would have thought this was a memorial page for Nick, the amount of fucking selfies that were up there. It was like, I had an epiphany, and I said the same thing to Kareth earlier. I had an epiphany, and I just sat there one day. I took the same selfie in the same mirror, in the same positioning with my arm, and my shoulders popped, and my same serious but joking face, hoping that a girl would hit me up. And I looked at it and I went, God damn, like people haven't forgotten what you look like, bro. Yeah. You look the same as yesterday. Why do you need to post the same thing today? Yep. And that's the side of social media that unfortunately has eclipsed the good side of social.
Absolutely.
Where you get fundraisers taken care of. Amazing videos are shared where it's not a dude giving a homeless dude $50 and recording the whole entire interaction because he wants to get his dick stroked and look how good of a person I am. Nah, bro, you're an asshole. Right. You're an asshole because you wanted to look like a good person, but you needed to record to show everybody how good you are. Yeah. You're not good. You're not good. You're going for clout. You're hoping people follow you because a lot of people don't have that same mindset that we do. Right. And I'm not saying we're better than anybody. I'm not saying that we're smarter than anybody.
Different approach.
It's a much different mindset when you don't fall into the ego side and bullshit side of these social strategies of look how good of a person I am on camera, but then behind the scenes that person's a piece of shit. Yeah. But they got all the followers. They got all the followers because they look so good on paper and on the video.
Like, I can't stand medical doctors who will post, like nurses too. They'll post about like, I just saved this life. You would have never known. 2 days ago, I had to intubate a patient, put a central line in this and that, and you would have never known. I'm not going to post about that.
Oh, you're not? You're not going to post about it just to have that ego stroke of likes come through?
I can't stand them. Or they'll post a video crying. You know what I mean? And it's like, come on.
I'll tell you, I obviously don't work in the hospitals. I don't like hospitals. Yeah. I'm just not a doctor fan.
I don't blame you.
I like you. I'm just not a doctor fan. But I'll tell you the videos that bother me. The videos that bother me that I see on the internet, and I'm guilty of liking them out of pure emotion of the compassion side. So the organ donor videos where they march the body around the hospital right before they do the donations and harvest the organs. Yeah. And you're recording a family and you're recording a person who's literally dead. Yeah. Basically dead. Yeah. And you're recording this whole interaction of them everybody lined up outside, this and that. And, you know, listen, I'm getting a little chilly thinking about it and stuff like that. It's a very emotional thing, but why do you have to post that online?
You shouldn't.
Why do you have to?
You shouldn't.
Why do you have to show that off? Yeah. That's a very private, emotional time for a family. I could only imagine if that was like, let's say, my son or my fucking brother. I mean, I'm an only child, but I'd be like, yo, bro. I'd be like super. I'd be like, yo, dude, you put the fucking camera away. I'm not playing these games. Yeah. This is my time, my last time I'm gonna see my loved one like this. I got some asshole who's looking to get 100,000 followers on TikTok. Like you're a dick, bro. Yeah, you're a dick.
Those I can't stand. Ooh, you would have look. You could never tell until I started posting stuff that I do. Like I'm a doctor. You would have never known that I do this, I do that. You know, I feel like it defeats the purpose. You know, you would have never known how many people I've saved, or unfortunately I've had to code for 40 minutes. You know, during the pandemic, and I'm not gonna fucking get my phone out and. Rough night.
You're not going to record over. You're not going to wear a GoPro while you're doing CPR
with the gown and the mask and tough night.
And then just like show, but you have to like position the watch to show the watch exactly where the GoPro is and be like, call it. It's like, oh my God,
you wouldn't know.
Oh my God,
you would never know.
Yeah, I don't understand where.
It's the tension.
It's
what it is.
I guess I do understand where it comes from and stems from, but I haven't had that mindset. Don't get me wrong, we've all done shit for attention.
Absolutely.
We've all done shit for attention, but we even, you know, we had spoken about this with Kareth as well. Like, not Bradley Martin, what's his name? Callum Von Moger.
Yeah.
Callum Von Moger, dude. Top of the food chain, man. That dude was
top.
Killing it.
He was the next guy in line.
Sick shape. But and I try to cover my tracks with my speech and the way that I talk about things because people are touchy-feely when you bring it. And if this gets to him or if this gets to his crew, you never know. The internet's crazy like that. So they'll be like, oh, this dude's talking shit. It's like, I'm not talking shit. I'm using it as an example of somebody that was really fucking killing it. Played Arnold Schwarzenegger in a movie. What was it?
I forgot what it was called.
It was the Joe Weider story. I just forget what it's exactly called. The Rosh was in it. Like, all of these things, like it's crazy, right? That crazy ass, that crazy wig on.
I forgot about that with a Raj, dude.
That wig was crazy.
Fuck.
So you're doing all these things, and you're excelling, and you're making money, and you're in phenomenal shape, and you're a recognizable face, name, brand, whatever you want to call it. Then you go and fucking you go to curl. What was it? What did they curl? 3 or 4 plates?
They were curling. It was him and who's?
It was Bumstead. Could you imagine if Bumstead ripped his fucking bicep? That would be it. Done.
No classic physique.
Maybe. I mean, he maybe would have never had the symmetry that he does. Whatever it might be. Yeah. It's just crazy how things can just change in an instant.
Something stupid.
But you're okay with the potential of that happening, all because you're expecting, we're going to get so many likes.
But remember, too, because he also tore his quad, and he was still hiking. I remember he, like, slipped again, tore the quad and the bicep.
Yep. So it's wild how social and the potential of going viral or getting more followers, it's like, fuck it, I'll risk it all. Bro, is it really worth it? Is it really worth it?
Yeah.
Are you, if social media goes away tomorrow, are you still going to be working as a doctor saving lives?
Still, yeah. I'm going to still be, if anything, it would probably be better for me, you know?
Yeah, probably.
It's time.
And the
won't affect me, nothing.
I want to get a neurologist in here. So do you know any neurologists? If you do, you let me know.
Let me think.
I want to get a neurologist in here so bad because I'm so curious the effects. I mean, I would love a psychiatrist, I'd love a psychologist, but I would love a neurologist.
Is the way to go.
Because I'm telling you, man, there are some profound changes that happen in our DNA, in our synapses and our connections to the brain from using these devices 100%. And the dopamine hits and all these different things that just rewire yourself to feel it. I get caught up sometimes. I watch my own story a bunch of times. I'm like, bro, you posted it. You know what you fucking put on there. Why are you watching it again? I was like, sit there, I'll just be bored. And I'll click my story a few times. And I'll be like, yeah, that was a good story. It's like, dog, that was you. That was you. Why are you fucking watching it again?
It's that addiction and it's the sense of satisfaction. It's literally what you said, that dopamine hit. What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I was good for a little while earlier in the year. I'm in a good mindset right now. I think this is the
you've been.
Yeah, this is the cleanest I've been in a while, mentally, physically, just spiritually, emotionally.
Which a lot of guys don't talk about.
Yeah, I
which
think
is
this is
huge.
the cleanest I've been in a long time. I'm motivated. Today was a tough morning though. I was really run down from hitting OG twice yesterday.
Yeah.
I hit it 6:15. The night before I had that shoot
The
at
shoot at
Ferrari,
Ferrari.
and that went until 11:30, 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I wound up sleeping at my mom's. My mom lives across the street from Ferrari.
Okay.
I wound up sleeping at her house because the dog was there already.
Yeah.
And then I got up at 4:45. So I only slept for like four
It
and a half
hurts.
hours.
It hurts.
I slept, I got up, Kenji was like saying, "What's up?" to me. I'm like, "What's up, pup?" And I headed out the door, hit the workout, had a shoot later that day yesterday, and then some edits and a couple of meetings for the Germany trip coming up with Rain in 2 weeks.
Nice.
And then Tyler was like, "Yo, I'm going back to OG tonight."
Right.
I said, "You know what, man? I'm trying to keep on this path of getting lean and doing my thing." I said, "I'll come." Came through, fucking annihilated.
Absolutely.
I was dead.
Yeah.
Went home, ate, and then by the time I ate and I showered, I was ready to go to sleep. It was like 11:30 again, 11:45, and I've been going to sleep at 9 o'clock every
I was
night.
gonna say
recently.
you usually sleep early, from what I remember.
Yeah, like as of the last couple of months, I've been focusing on getting more sleep.
Yeah.
And I remember my alarm went off this morning at 5 a.m. and I just went, "Yeah, I need the rest," because it's been like 3 days of just not.
You got to know when to pull back.
Yeah.
And I always say this. I'm a religious guy, and I always say this. If God wills it and God gives you the opportunity, man, do it. Because I have patients, and maybe I'll say this when we shoot. Look, man, I got patients that are in the ICU, bedbound, feeding tube down their throat for air. Man, they wish they can wake up at 5 to go do fasted cardio, or do a double workout.
Think of my dad, honestly. Think of my dad. It's not that I don't have
Perfect example.
It's not that I don't have a good relationship with my father.
I've seen MS patients, and man, they wish that they can go back to. They wish they could say, "Oh, I wish I could go back to the gym at 11 p.m."
Yeah.
Tired? That's how I like to look at it. Man, I got patients there that can't even walk. That's why I find it comical when bodybuilders talk about how much food they eat.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, man, I got patients that I have to put a tube in just to feed them liquid. So it goes, zzz, a peg tube. You're talking about, oh, I got to eat another 200 grams of rice and chicken.
Yeah. Oh, such a hassle, bro. You're spending $1,000 a week on groceries, bro. Like, poor you. Poor you. The fuck up and eat your meal.
Yeah,
the hell up, man.
It's perspective. That's why, like, being in this field has opened my eyes to make me just appreciate things more.
Yeah, when you deal with sick, when you deal with elderly, it really does change your mindset.
You know what? Not too bad.
Yeah, everything's
bad.
The Tony Robbins thing that I sat through, I keep bringing it up. It was really good, man. He does a very good job of making you sit and think about what you should be thankful for versus what you don't have. And, when you come from that side of things and you come from compassion and, instead of saying I have to go to work, I get to go to work. These little things that you have to keep repeating to yourself. It does change you up a little bit. And thinking in perspective of people that can't. One of the biggest things that I was always upset about when I was younger was my dad couldn't do things with me that other dads could do with their sons. So like run around, go throw baseball together, stuff like that. My dad just wasn't that guy. He wasn't physically able to, and mentally he wasn't able to anyway. Because as the disease progressed and whatnot. So when I think of skipping the gym, or I think of just not wanting to go, I think of my dad sitting in a wheelchair.
Right.
I think of, somebody that had to get a limb amputated, and it's that much harder for them to get to the gym and get to do it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that do still do it.
Absolutely.
There's this dude, Kevin, who I want to get on the podcast. He's a veteran, and I don't know the full story, but he had an amputation below the knee. Mm-hmm. So he's at the gym all the time, working out, doing his fucking thing. No excuses.
I mean, look at the guys that are at the Olympia, that class.
Yes, the handicap special needs. I don't even know what they call them. The handicap special needs type class.
The guy, I think he's won like 10 years in a row. I forgot his name. That guy looked better than me.
Yeah, shredded. Which is funny because when people then tell me that I can't get in shape or I can't do this, I can't do that. Nah, bro, you got to put the fucking fork down. Right. You got to put the fork down, and you got to move your body more than you're sitting down. Like, it just is what it is. Yep. It doesn't have to be difficult. People make it difficult.
Absolutely.
I love my mom to death, but she's making it difficult.
Right.
She's like, "Oh, I've been tracking what I eat." I go, "No, Mom, but you're like, you go to Pilates like 4 or 5 times a week. That's not enough, especially at your age. That's not enough. Nope. You gotta fucking sweat. Right. You gotta go in there and leave it all on the mats."
I tell my mom, that's funny, actually. Yeah,
it's just
no one wants to do the work.
It's what it is.
Even those that are in my residency program, they see I bring my meals in every day. I still go to the gym as best as I can. They're like, how? And I'm like, I have the same fucking time as you. I do the same 24-hour shifts as you. I'm fucking in the hospital same time as you.
And I'm tired.
Sometimes I'm there
just as you,
earlier.
but I did
Yeah.
more. And you seem to be just as tired as me.
Right.
Because you're not taking care of yourself.
so
You're
how
not
the
doing
fuck-
your cardio. You're not eating right.
Yep.
You're eating all these fucking additives and fillers and sugars and shit
I
that
always
are just
bring my
breaking
meals.
your cells down, and you don't even realize it.
Exactly.
That you're making yourself even worse than
Right.
if you just started and cleaned your shit up. You'd feel 10 times better.
Yeah.
How many? I mean, you were telling me just before. How many times you get young kids who want to just jump on shit, who just want to jump on a test cycle, who just want to the easy pill.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
everything
wanna
will be
work
better.
hard.
Everything will be easier instead of just putting the fucking nose to the grindstone and working your dick off.
Yeah.
Maybe just do that.
No one wants to do that.
I bring this up all the time when we talk about competitors.
Mhm.
The shift, and I kind of was at the forefront of that shift, where it started shifting from people that competed to show their physique that they built over a 10-year span, 5-year span, 20-year span, to I want to get social media awareness,
Right.
and I just want to step on stage for the fuck of it.
Right.
You know, oh, I'm doing it for me. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. You're doing it for an ego stroke. You're hoping that people notice you, and deep down, you know you're probably not going to win because you're not giving it your all.
Right.
There are dudes that I know that compete that have taken every drug under the fucking sun,
Right. Oh, yeah.
every drug, and they bitch the entire prep.
It's a privilege.
They bitch the entire prep. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. Yo, dog, I did 23 weeks. You want to play tit for tat? I did 23-week prep natural.
That's
No
tough.
clean, no fat burner,
tough.
nothing. 23 weeks and I dropped 90 pounds.
Tough.
Dude, I was beyond tired. It was
Absolutely.
fucking tough.
That's work.
But I got through it because my mindset was whatever I do, I'm stepping on that fucking stage.
Absolutely.
And I truly did not care if I won or not.
Yeah.
It was a breakup a year
was-
before. Like I just mentally, I was just
We're
in that
fired up.
mode. I'm like, I was away at college. I didn't want to drink. I didn't want to do nothing. I just wanted to get on that stage and prove that I could do this because I was a chubby kid when I was little. Then I was in shape. Then I was fat again. This was my time to get back in shape and take things seriously. It's a privilege, like you just said.
Absolutely.
It's a privilege to be able to go and train and eat
Hell
this
yeah.
food that other countries don't have the same access. Now,
Forget it. I mean, yeah,
is our food really that good?
Right.
Probably
hey,
not. But regardless,
that kid in Africa, right? I know they
would
always
take
say
that shit.
Man, they'll take it any day.
Yeah.
And it's about the hard work. And that's what led me to my journey with med school. I was always told you can't. It's tough. It's this, it's that. Even trying to get the fellowship just recently. It's always, you can't. It's too tough. But I kept working.
Where'd you go to school?
So med school. So I did undergrad at NYT here in Long Island. Then I went to West Virginia for med school in 2016. I did a master's at ToroCom before then. So since 2013, I've been at it.
How'd you like West Virginia?
Hated it. Man, I was dark, boy.
Oh my God. You had all the rednecks, man.
I was dark.
You had all the rednecks.
Say
down
you're in
there.
the wrong side of town, boy.
Yeah, man. Stay away from that hick shit.
Picture New York. I had my Audi too at the time. They're all driving these pickup trucks. Like classmates of mine, their home was actual trailer park homes.
Yeah.
Like
That's a normal part of life for some
real
people.
life. Man, they hated me.
I'm sure they did.
At the gym there, they hated me.
It's people that live in that little bubble, and we talk about this in different scenarios and circumstances. People that live in these little bubbles of the way that they know things and no other way. It's culture shock when somebody else with a different shade of skin, a different accent, a different way of walking
Just
and
the
talking.
swagger with it.
It's just weird. We're so spoiled in New York. We're so spoiled because we're so used to
The diversity.
the diversity and all the different people around us and the different ways of, we read body language probably better than most people in the country.
Absolutely.
When you're from New York, you know and you watch everybody. You're raised differently. You're raised differently. I've brought this story up in the past. This was in 2018. There was a company that flew me out to LA for the LA Fit Expo, and I was shooting with them. And it's our last day. It's a Sunday morning, super early, and we're walking through this little market. in downtown LA. Downtown
Okay.
LA is a shithole.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Shithole. I'm also biased. I fucking hate LA.
Yeah,
So it's just me.
I never would want to go there.
Yeah, no, I'm good on that.
Mhm.
But it's the movie capital, Nick. You'll make your man. I'll be just one of a million videographers thinking that you're gonna happen out there. I'm gonna be nothing out there. So they we're walking through this little market, and as we're walking, I'm with these two dudes that are from Seattle. Nice guys, but just head in the fucking clouds. They're just not built like the East Coast.
Definitely not.
And we're walking through, and I look to my left because I'm noticing everybody around us.
All right.
And these two shady ass dudes, white dude, and I forget what the other dude was. He might have been like Spanish, whatever.
Creeping.
I just noticed them.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, and I'm like, don't like that. And I look to my right. Now, if I can paint the picture for people that, I have in my brain, the market was like, if you ever seen the videos of like the Tsushima market in Japan, the fish market, where they have all the vendor stalls and it's just like rows.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this looked like. So I'm passing that one. I see them on my left. Then I step a couple more steps. Two black dudes on our right.
Yeah.
And it
clicks.
You felt it. Like, I don't know.
It's that instinct.
You tell me, you work at the hospitals. Do they install something in our stomachs as New Yorkers? Because it just felt all like the first two dudes.
I was always paranoid in West Virginia.
Dude, first two dudes, off. Second two dudes, definitely off. And then we start walking, and I glance over my left, and I see one of them like heading on to the two other dudes that were past.
Yeah. That's when you know.
And they start going on the outside of the aisles. So I'm like, okay. So I told the two dudes that were with, I said, yo, just keep your head on a swivel. I said, because we got about 4 dudes that are now on the outside aisles, sketchy. Just watch them. I said, I don't know if it's something real. I said, but just
you never
keep
know.
your eyes peeled. So we start walking, and as we walk faster, they're walking faster. Now no one's around. There's only one stand that's open, and we're trying to get to it. It's all the way at the end. So we're walking. All of a sudden, one of the dudes cuts in a little bit. And I look him right in the face. We both look at each other, and I give him a head nod. I'm like, "What's up, man? What's going on, bro?"
Yeah.
I see you. I see what you're doing. I'm not from around here, bro.
I'm
watching,
the wrong guy.
I'm watching you. I promise you.
I'm the wrong guy.
So he like stops and looks past me at the other guys behind. They're kind of just like
right.
communicating without having to say anything.
Much noise.
We pick up the pace. We get to the stand, and there's too many people and a security guard there. We see them stop and walk the other way again.
That was it.
Yeah. Sketch. Just sketch. You got to keep your head on a fucking swivel. And people just
Only us were like that, though.
Oh, yeah.
Man, you go to tech, you go anywhere, and it's like, why are you always on edge? Fuck that.
Bro, I was raised like that.
Yeah.
It's not on edge. It's just having some
Queens, Brooklyn, New York gutter.
Just having some awareness, some spatial awareness.
It's bad.
That was I went to New Haven.
Okay.
I didn't go to New Haven. I went to Quinnipiac. So I was in Hamden, but we spent a lot of time in New Haven. New Haven's rough, bro. New Haven's not great. Yeah. But I never had a problem there because every time I passed some dudes, I'd be like, "What's up, boys? What's going on, boys? How we doing? Have a great morning. Have a great day. This and that." They'd be like, "Okay, cool." Like,
he's down.
There's no issue between us. There's no reason to like fuck with one another. I see you, you see me, we're good. The dudes who always had their head up their ass, texting and walking. Give me your fucking money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they get swiped up. That's it, man.
Those are the ones.
Yeah, so West Virginia probably was
bad.
Culture shock for you too, probably.
Huge.
Yeah, because you're not used to those types of You're not used to those types of rednecks.
Man, come Long Island. My first baby that I delivered was a meth head baby.
Oh, meth head baby.
Meth head baby crying. I couldn't believe it, man. This is the first time I'm holding a baby like this.
This was down in West Virginia?
Yeah. Just delivered. Just came straight out. All jittery, crying. Not crying because it's like, wah, no, like you could tell because they overdose. These fucking, like the moms there that are on meth and stuff, they still do it throughout the whole pregnancy and it goes in the system.
Oh, God.
And then they end up getting withdrawals, the babies. A minute old.
Oh, so now in that instance, what happens when the delivery's done? Do they charge the mother? Do they?
I don't know exactly what they did in terms of charging.
Infancy negligence, is that a thing? I don't even know.
They weren't under their care anymore.
Yeah, so they take the baby away fully.
Absolutely.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine taking that entire pregnancy, 9 months,
Yeah.
spending 9
Yeah,
months.
yeah.
And I know it's an addiction and I know some people truly can't help it.
Oh man, but come on.
But yo, 9 months you had this thing
Yeah.
growing inside of you. You're neglecting yourself. You're pumping drugs into your system just to have them take the child away. And it's like you're sitting there like,
It's
what?
okay. Yeah.
What?
There's so many of them like that. When I saw that, I gotta get out. This estate is not for me. Bad. The amount of incest, I can't tell you. When I was on my
Oh, so
OBG,
when we take jabs like that, like the
It's-
rednecks fucking their cousins and their
it's
sisters,
true,
it's real.
dog. It's-
Jesus. I thought it was a joke, and it's real.
It's true, man. You know, cousin, brother, sister, yeah, trying to get pregnant,
Trying to,
and it's like normal.
trying to.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and it's normal, and I can't say nothing. You know, at the time I'm a med student.
Oh my god.
You know,
how
I'm
many
like-
conversations were going on in your head?
This is fucked up.
You probably were Dave Chappelle standing up on a stage.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
your own head and just like telling these jokes out because you can't tell them out
Can't say
loud.
to
So you just tell them
nobody.
to all your brain, your little neurons.
Nobody.
You're just
Look at
neurons.
this
You're just-
stupid shit. Look at this incest stuff. Crazy. Crazy what I went through with that.
So now okay, so
It's
now
like they'll come in to like for prenatal visits, or some of them will already be pregnant. It'll be it'll be cousins.
and it's just
they'll-
it's just
they're
whatever.
They're there for the baby follow up.
Yeah, I'm good on that. I'm not doing it. I'm
The
not
OB
doing it.
follow-up.
I'm not doing it. Yeah, cross that whole fucking
I couldn't
state.
say anything.
Cross
I
that whole
just-
state off my list. It wasn't even on it, but now really cross it off. I ain't never
Oh,
going there.
there's nothing good there.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Zero.
Well, I heard the back hill country area, like the real country area, is not awesome. It's
That's
very
where I was. I was
Yeah,
in the gutter, Lewisburg.
Lewisburg.
Yeah, I wasn't where the actual like WVU was, Morristown, the parties, campus. I was like in the gutter.
So now, why did you go down there? Were you sent
That's
down
just
there?
where I was accepted from school,
Oh,
so I had to take what I got. You know,
you don't think you would have gotten accepted to any others? How many did you
I
apply to?
applied all over New York, and even where I went for college and whatnot. But
Should have went to Miami, bro. God,
I know,
Should've
right?
went somewhere, Hawaii.
I know.
Somewhere.
And it's crazy because when I got accepted there and I signed the week after, I was accepted to Florida. But at that point, I couldn't.
Yeah, but what part of Florida? Because Florida could be redneckish
Is it
too.
Jacksonville?
Oh yeah, I'm good on that, dude. I'm not
I
going
think
to
it was
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
I don't want to go to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Fuck
But
that.
at that point, I'm like, oh, West Virginia should be cool. It's calm. It's nice.
Did you ever
Southern.
go before?
No.
First fuck up. Gotta go visit first, man.
A friend from my church, he was there and he loved it. So I said, all right, if he like it, it's cool. Man, I don't know what the fuck he loved in it. That was stupid me.
Okay, so this was for what program?
Medical school.
This was for medical school.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go down there, and how long are you in West Virginia?
3 years.
Oh,
Are we recording?
yeah. Oh, we've
Okay.
been
Okay.
recording. Yeah,
3
we've been
years.
recording.
West Virginia for 3 years from 2016. Yeah, 2016 I was there. 3 long years away from home.
Oh God, dude.
Yeah, it hurt. Because you're just different there. And look, there were times I didn't have a barber, right? And I'm not trusting you. Look, you're never gonna cheat on your barber here. Out there, forget it. They got the mullet cut and all this stuff.
Oh man.
So I'm growing my beard and I got exams, boards. Man,
Oh, so you just let it grow.
I look bad there.
You just let your shit go, man.
The amount of times that the police would follow me. So like it was real there because my apartment was across the street from a precinct. So I used to think, oh, this is perfect. I can park my car, there'd be no
Not gonna have to worry about nothing.
issues. Man, they did not like me. Every day I would go to the gym, it caused me a lot of anxiety. So much anxiety. Every day I would go to the gym, it was like 10 minutes, like where the school is. They would follow me up until there's like a border from the city I was in to the city where the gym is, and then they turn around.
Middle of nowhere cops are creepy.
I got pulled over so many times.
Yeah, middle of nowhere cops are super creepy. I think I can't even say like New York. New York's a different ballgame, but middle of nowhere cops. And I saw a video in Sweden. This dude took a vacation to Sweden, black dude from London, and the cops are just pulling him over left and right.
Shoot.
5 times on his way back from a restaurant. What are you doing in Sweden?
Wow.
Why are you here?
Right.
This and that. You know, stuff like that
Yep.
doesn't normally get publicized. You only see the stuff that happens
Right.
in New York or in these
They're the bad
areas. Yeah, they're the
guys.
bad.
Yeah.
Nah, yo, like middle of nowhere cops that you don't
No, I
hear
would
about.
get pressed all the time.
That's the creepy shit, man.
The one cop that actually used to press me all the time, they actually found videos of him beating the shit out of like guys that he was taking into the precinct.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
And I said, man, that could have been me if I didn't keep it calm.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. You got to keep it calm no matter what.
Oh, it was such a. It hurt.
I've had cops be assholes to me. A little different,
Yeah.
like, but I've had cops be assholes to me, and it's just
Why?
yeah, I just shut my mouth.
Sorry, officer.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. No, sir.
That's it.
This and that.
There, I had to be.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you're in the med school, huh? So you got money."
Oh my god.
And I'm like, "Man, come on. What does that got to do with anything?"
No, bro. Actually, I'm broke.
Yeah, I'm
Actually,
in
I have
debt.
no fucking money. So I appreciate you thinking that I got
It's gonna
money.
be a good $500,000 right now. You know.
Actually, I was
You
gonna
better
ask.
let me go.
I was gonna ask you for $5 because I got to eat tonight.
I got, you know. Yeah. It was, but it gave me such a perspective just on life, from where
experiences.
we come from.
Life experiences.
We have it nice here. You know, over there they had nothing, zero. You know, here we have it good. Over there, it was not to judge them, obviously, but
No, but you are living in an environment
Yeah.
that is much different from where you're used to.
yeah.
And I have a lot of people that I know that constantly say, "Oh, I'd love to live in the middle of nowhere. Or I'd love to do that." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, maybe," but
Sounds nice.
sounds nice. You think that it's going to be the way that it is, and it's not. It's going to be
I
completely
was
different.
so depressed during med school because of it. When I finished my first board exam, which is like, you know, for those who know, like the med school board exam, that's the toughest exam you can ever take. 9-hour exam straight. After that test, I was so depressed, right? I drove from West Virginia. This was at the end of my second year. I drove from West Virginia after the 9-hour test back to Long Island. I got back to Long Island like midnight, 1 a.m. I drove and I got myself a puppy.
Oh, really? What kind of puppy?
Pennsylvania.
What kind of puppy?
It was a Jack Russell.
nice.
Jack Russell. But that's how depressed I was. I was like, I need something. I took that puppy back with me to West Virginia for my last year of rotations. But I didn't care. I was on no sleep. Took that puppy, saved my life. Like if I didn't have a dog, I don't know where I would have been.
So now let me get onto the medical side of things. So you take your board exams.
Yeah.
So you go to okay. So let me back up. So you go down
Yeah.
to West Virginia for medical school.
Yeah.
You do your thing down there. You take your board exams after how long of being in medical school? 3 years?
So there's a few board exams. So after your second year, you have something called step 1. That's your first board exam. And then the last 2 years of medical school, because it's a total of 4 years, the last 2 are rotations. I'm in the hospital, I'm in surgery, internal medicine, OBGYN, you name it.
And you're learning everything.
Exactly.
All areas of medicine,
Yeah.
not just a singular
Right.
focus.
Exactly. Psychiatry, you name it. And then at the end of the third year is another board exam. And then your fourth year, you apply for residencies. Residencies is where you're going to be doing your training. So I want to be a surgeon or I want to be a cardiologist, which means I have to do internal medicine first to then become one, or a gastroenterologist, I have to do internal med, or I want to be a pediatrician, dermatologist. So at that year, then that's when you apply. And then your first year of residency is when you do another board exam.
Okay. What happens if you fail one of these board exams? Is there a window where you could retake it?
Yeah, you can retake it. And a lot of people do. You know, I never did well on my boards, I'll be quite honest. And, you know, I'm okay saying that. You know,
It's real.
Yeah, it's real life. I've never been that type.
People
But
be
you just
lying.
bounce
People
back.
be lying about their SAT scores
Yeah,
for
yeah,
years,
yeah.
man. It's
Yeah.
okay. Be real.
I take pride in the work I did. You know, I might not be the smartest, but I'll work harder than you, kind of a thing. But they just bounce back. You just got to retake it. But it's a lot of them that, you know, I mean, look, I'll share this openly. I failed my first step.
You did.
Yeah, I'll share it openly. You know, I don't know who this will reach to. I failed it, the first one. And I'm okay saying it now because, you know, I'm going to be a gastroenterologist now.
Yeah.
You know, I can say that proudly. But back then when I failed it, they said, good luck getting residency. Good luck even getting somewhere in New York, New Jersey, that area.
Does it show always that you failed your first one?
During the applying for residency, yeah. After that, no one
Yeah, no one gives
cares.
a shit anymore.
No one cares. You know. So yeah, it took a big hit for me.
So what happens when you fail that? Now you
I had
fail that,
4 weeks to study again.
and what type of information is it on the first board exam versus like a second or third or fourth?
Everything. So the first board exam is just all of medicine, like every organ that you can think of. Microbiology, pharmacology, we do. So every drug that you can think of, we have to learn about it. What does it do? What can it cause? Negative, positives, everything. Um,
And
Everything in
why do you think you
medicine.
failed the first one? Was it just a lack of preparation? Was it just too
It
much
was my
information?
mind state. I was so down and out there. And at that time period, I had a weak mind state. I missed home. Just being in that environment, it wasn't good. There was nothing.
It wasn't conducive to success.
I didn't have anything there. I didn't have anyone. It was just me. No one. I was single, nobody. And yeah, I let it get the best of me, you know? And then when that happened and I failed, and then they told me, and I still have emails when they said, you know, I don't know if you're going to be ready to take it in 4 weeks because they wanted to push me back like 2, 3 months. And I said, no way. That's going to push my medical school training. I'm graduating 2020. I don't care.
Oh, so that's how it would be. It would set you back on the
Yeah. I said, I
graduation
don't
date.
care. I'm going to study right now. I'm studying actually as we speak. You're wasting my time. Because they said that I have a high probability of failing um, just from redoing it in 4 weeks. Residency programs won't even look at me. I'm done. I took it in 4 weeks, crushed it.
Crushed it.
Crushed it.
Now, what helped you retain all that information? Are you a write down kind of guy? Are you a memorize by reading? What?
Both.
Yeah,
I can't just look at the screen. I gotta write.
yeah.
I'm
That's
old
how I
school
am.
like that.
That's how I
Pen
am.
and paper. Just write and
I
write
tried.
and
I try to
write.
do the writing on the iPad. It's
Not the
tough.
same.
It's tough.
Yeah. And I have to do a lot of studying. Even for now, I have a board exam to be board certified in internal medicine. That itself is the whole thing. And yeah, it's just repetition, repetition, and just doing it. It's a lot, you know.
When's your last board now?
So I have one coming up in September to make me officially board certified in internal medicine, and then I don't do it again for another 10 years.
Nice. Love that.
But I will have one when I finish my fellowship in gastroenterology.
Okay. Okay.
So,
It's fucking
but that's
test.
in 3 years, 4 years.
I mean, I guess that's a good thing because
But it's
you're
worth it.
working on people.
I can proudly say I'm double board certified. I think it's humbly, I think it's the toughest education to obtain. It's tough. Medical school training is tough. A lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of med students go through a lot of nonsense. Even residents. At times I'm working 80, 100 hours a week. And if you look at the pay, it's a very big discrepancy when you break it down. So it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. It's worth it to me. It was worth it when I first started residency, even though it was during the pandemic. And I had a patient's mom call me and say, thank you. Thank you for taking care of my husband. Man, that was it. Because then now I made a difference. I used to be on the outside, watching and seeing family members being affected by diseases and cancers, and I could do nothing. Here I am, this med student or biology major in college. I felt useless. Now I'm the one that's saving, and even now as I step into gastroenterology, like now I can make a difference with people who might have colon cancer or just ulcers, gastric ulcers that end up bursting and bleeding, killing people. That's very common. Now I can make that difference. So all that stuff that accumulated, worth it. Worth it.
So let me get into why you pick gastro, because you have
Yeah.
every opportunity or availability to get into any type of medicine. Why gastro? Why did you get drawn to that? Did you see a better future in there? Were you just more interested in that part of the anatomy of the body? What was it?
Yeah, so gastroenterology for me was honestly the first subject that I always did well in. I can read that subject in the book. I can read it for hours. Loved it. I enjoyed it and made sense to me, versus like cardiology, right? Heart. Man, I can read the same chapter and I'll never get it. It's complex for me. But gastroenterology, even though it is complex in its own nature, I was always drawn to it, and especially because of the fitness and nutrition aspect of things. I can now take what I do personally when it comes to nutrition, fitness, diet, while I might not be, an IFBB pro competitor, I still live the life day to day, and I can now incorporate that as a gastroenterologist for those that deal with a lot of stomach issues. How many patients or how many people you hear say, hey, yeah, I have IBS, or hey, my stomach this, my stomach
That
that.
seems to be more and more common now, like
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So that was one of the big reasons. And another reason too was colon cancer. Colon cancer is on the uprise, especially for our generation coming up. For whatever it may be, it's been affecting more and more younger adults. And it's very treatable. It's one of those diseases that can be cured and treated right away through a colonoscopy. Because you're able to see, with the scope in the colon, oh, you have a polyp, boom, I remove it. Instead of that polyp growing into 20, into 30, now you have cancer. Now you got to get part of your colon removed.
So now, because it's affecting younger people, are they requiring colonoscopies to be sooner than later?
They pushed the age back. So it used to be 50 years is the screening for colonoscopies. Now they made it to 45, unless you're experiencing symptoms. So 45 years old.
And what would symptoms be?
So a lot of the symptoms, it'll just be, you're not digesting well, so you're feeling a lot of stomach bloating, stomach cramping. Blood in your stool is always a big one. And especially if you have iron deficiency anemia on blood work. So that's always like the classical 50-year-old man, he comes in and he's iron deficient anemic. You always have to rule out colon cancer before anything else.
Yeah, my iron levels
Yeah.
do not need any help.
Yeah.
Those need to come down. So I should donate some
Yeah,
of
you
that.
should donate a little bit.
Crazy. It's insane, man. I do have to donate blood and just
It helps.
I'm just afraid of needles, man. I don't like needles, man. It's crazy. I'm looking for an app that I had where I had a couple questions written down that I wanted to get into some topics. I can't find it. I think it's probably on my phone. But anywho, yeah, my mom's got colitis. My
Right.
grandmother has always had
Dang.
my grandmother's always had stomach issues and stomach
Yeah.
things and whatnot. And I don't want to say that I've had, as of late, more of like a intermittent cycle down
Right.
there,
Right.
but the fistula definitely didn't help. That
Right.
definitely didn't help.
doesn't-
That didn't help my mindset either. But it's such a weird thing that so much that you do affects it, like your gut
Yeah,
health, the
absolutely.
things that you're eating and consuming.
The mind and the gut.
Yeah.
That's how I view it.
And it was just what? It was just colon awareness month or colon cancer
Yeah.
awareness
So
month, something
March
like
was
that?
colorectal cancer awareness month, and I figured, before I start the fellowship in July, let me just do something. I think like yourself, you can always do more.
There it is.
You can always do more in life, and I wanted to just get it started because, look, man, there are a lot of patients that are affected by it, and while they may not mean anyone to you, that person is someone's special someone. That's someone's mom, someone's dad, someone's grandma, brother, sister. Might not be anyone to me, but that's someone special in this life. And I look at it too where, and that's why I want to help people get healthier, is you never know who you're going to help and what that one person can do for the world. It might be the next president, might be the next mayor, might be the next best governor, God willing,
I thought, it's funny because I thought about that. Yeah, they are. I thought about that when I walked past these little kids on the block the other day.
Right.
I was like, yo, we don't even know what one of these little motherfuckers could be.
Potential.
Yeah, one of these dudes could be just like
Yeah.
the next big somebody, the next big movie
Right.
star, name,
never
whatever
know.
it is. It's just weird how
Yeah.
that works.
Right. Or just even in the hospital setting, right? If I'm taking care of, like someone's dad, right? But then they are no one to me when I go home. But that's someone's dad, And now what happens if that, daughter, that son doesn't grow up with their dad? They're either we're going to go to route A or they were going to go to route B.
Yes, traumas can push people into some really dark areas and
Yeah.
places, change mindsets.
Absolutely.
Oh, he was. I swear, my neighbor was always such a good person. He was always
Right.
such a good kid.
Right. Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Because we found 10 people skinned in his basement. So I don't think he was. I don't think he was a great kid. I got to be honest with you. I don't know what changed.
Too many
but
documentaries like
yeah,
that.
maybe he was eating too many sugars. I don't know. And that's it's funny because I'm trying to get on a good cycle of gut health and stuff like
Absolutely,
that.
yeah.
I feel like there's so much information out there that you
Yeah.
don't know what is you should believe and what you should stick to. So what are some tips and advice that you can give somebody in terms of like how to keep things clean
Right.
down there, starting up here.
Up here.
Not my cheek, my mouth.
Right.
Pause. Pause. Pause.
We're talking about all holes today.
Yeah, we're talking about every orifice.
Each and every one of them. Yeah, that's a good question. So there are a lot of people, unfortunately, that will promote products and say this is gonna be the gut cleanser.
Yeah.
And it's nothing.
Prebiotic and probiotic.
Right. Even believe it or not, the probiotics and the prebiotics and these kind of things, a lot of studies have shown they're not even that beneficial, believe it or not.
Really?
There's some of them that are, but you have to get the ones that you can refrigerate, because those are live bacteria, so you can't just get the one that's in a little capsule.
Or the one that's built into a protein bar.
Right. Or they do that a lot nowadays.
Yeah,
it's a very good gimmick.
I ate one of my mom's last night. She just had one in there, and I said,
probably killed your stomach.
I said, what is this shit?
Gave you the runs.
Yeah, she's like, oh, it's a little bar or something.
It's got collagen.
I said, can I eat it? She's like, yeah. I go, all right. So I ate it. I was like, it's not that bad. I don't think it's gonna help me, but I think it's pretty good.
It's
Whatever.
not gonna help nothing.
Yeah, it was all sugar anyway.
That's another reason why I wanted to get into gastroenterology, because of that aspect. So what I'll tell patients, and people as is, it's a lot of the simple basic stuff. First when you wake up, drink water. All right, but I'll have coffee first. No. Drink water. But I have to put the lemon and the oranges and this and that. No, just drink water.
Drink water.
I always like to have like a good half a liter before breakfast. And other than that, I always start my morning off with a fiber supplement.
You start with a fiber.
Yeah.
You don't end with a fiber.
I do both.
Okay.
But I tailor it for everyone. Some patients, they do very well with just once a morning. So like psyllium husk, that itself is great. It's a great fiber because it binds up everything and
pops it out.
Right.
I have some psyllium husk.
Yeah.
I should start taking it again.
Every morning I do it. Just mix it up, drink it, give your time to digest, and then you have your breakfast.
Do you find that reduces bloating as well for people?
Absolutely. If I know when I forgot it, I tend not to, but there are times, unfortunately, where I do, and I feel it. I'm backed up, and I'll even do it in the nighttime as well. And that keeps things going. What
was the shift in terms of needing all this fiber to start with? Because I want you to continue 1 to 10 or how many steps you do every morning and every day. What was the switching? Was it the foods that we're eating? Was it the environment that, I can guarantee that Native Americans and our ancestors were not taking psyllium husk every day to keep their colons in tip-top shape.
Definitely not. I think it's a lot of the junk that we put in our body. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. First off, a lot of people not drinking as much water as they should be. I always have my gallon like a meathead at the hospital, and they'll make fun of me, and they're drinking maybe a cup, not even, the size of this drink, so that itself. And I think it's just a diet. Don't get me wrong. Look, I'm a cookie guy. I love cookies, all the kind of goodies. But if you constantly are putting just foods that have no, just good, dense nutrition in it, that's going to screw you up. And it's only going to cause worsening inflammation in the body. And then that itself leads, to a whole rabbit hole of things. So a lot of it does come to diet, and I know we say this, right? Diet. But a lot of people don't realize what that means. It's like, especially greens. I know I sound like a dad or, like a parent saying, you got to eat your greens, Jimmy. But it's so true. The amount of patients that I talk to, and they're like, yeah, I don't really eat vegetables. Well, no wonder you haven't dropped one in 4 days. That's not normal.
Damn, dropped one in 4 days.
Yeah. The longest I've had was 10 days. But that's because they were on like opioids and stuff.
10 days, no bowel movement.
Nothing. Not even a pebble.
Where does it go?
It's stored up. I actually had one patient, I'll show you a picture later, that she had so much accumulation. When we did her colonoscopy, the feces, the poop, ended up solidifying, like hard as rock. Yeah, from years. I'll show you a picture later. It gets nasty.
Because I've known some girls over the years that have said they do a bowel movement every like 2 days. I'm like, that's not normal, I said.
Yeah, at least once a day. Fine, every 2 days, but at least once a day.
Oh,
keep
I
you
don't have that.
regulated.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah, keep you
I
regulated.
don't have that problem, especially if especially if I have a little bit of coffee. It's over.
It gets
man.
you going. That's
It's
what
over,
I tell
man.
patients too. You know
Start
what?
you start gripping the wall.
Right.
Oh God.
That thing, you start taking your clothes off.
I can't.
Please God.
Sweating. Why is it so hot in here? It's like I gotta get
Start
naked.
praying. You know?
Oh, please just let this crown
That's just
pass.
one, you know?
Give him birth. Please.
Otherwise, you're gonna have me looking up in there. You know?
No, I can't have it. All right, psyllium husk.
Yeah, psyllium husk it is.
Psyllium
You
husk.
on psyllium husk or me? You name
Oh
it.
God, the psyllium husk is easier.
Yeah.
So now psyllium husk, and then what else are we doing? Drinking water.
Yeah, so the water, the psyllium husk, definitely incorporating as much, foods with fiber as you can.
Yes, you were saying vegetables.
Yeah, the vegetables.
Which vegetables?
So
Vegetables
my
a broad
go-to-
term.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. So that's a good point. Like for me, I found things like broccoli, green beans, works very well. Even just shredded lettuce, spinach, asparagus, all those work pretty well from my experience and from most patients usually. Even if it's a cup, with 2, 3 of your meals, one, it's going to keep you fuller, right? And secondly, it's going to keep things regulated.
I'm the worst when it comes to vegetables. I buy them with the
Yeah.
intent of eating them, and they just go bad in
Yeah.
my fridge. And then I look and I go, "Oh shit! It has been like a week since I
Right.
bought that." All
How
right,
do you-
whatever.
I did too until I realized I'm the one paying for it, right? And you can't let those groceries out no more like we did when we were kids.
I am the one paying for
Yeah,
it.
I'm the one paying for
Yeah,
it.
and every
All
single
right,
time I bought a pineapple recently. Bought a pineapple. That motherfucker sat on my
Still
counter
there.
for a month.
Yeah,
and
decoration.
I looked at it and I went, "Oh, that's right.
It's a home
I gotta
goods
cut
decoration.
that thing." And I cut it open. It was all like spoiled. I went, "All right."
Oh,
Toss it right in the
there you
garbage.
go.
Okay.
Waste.
I had good intentions when I bought it. I swear I was gonna eat it.
the decor.
Yeah, that's what it was. The core was.
The decor.
I cut it open and it sighed. Like that's what it made that sound. I went, "Oh, I think it's
My
supposed
bad.
I don't think it's supposed to do that."
My bad.
All right, so vegetables,
Yeah.
broccolis, green beans, shredded lettuce.
That's honestly the most of it. It's simple, but we just don't do it. A lot of this stuff with fitness and nutrition is very simple. Dieting, weight loss, right? As we spoke about before, it's very simple. So these are the things, because you believe it or not, like when I see a lot of patients in the GI clinic and they'll tell me about their bowel movements or stomach issues, and you kind of ask them what their diet is, they'll say, "Yeah, in the morning, wake up, have my coffee with creamer,
Yep.
and then
First
I have cereal. That's it."
Yeah, but according to the USDA and the food pyramid, Lucky Charms is
Right.
better than
Better.
eggs
And steak.
and steak.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're just following what they're told. They're just following what they're
I
told.
love Lucky Charms. I incorporate all that in the diet, but yeah, you can't be saying that. I know.
It's bad.
Because a lot of people will see it and say, "Oh, perfect." A lot of people, believe it or not, think that cereal in the morning is a good breakfast.
Is a properly balanced breakfast.
Or like that green granola bar, the Nature Valley, the one that's always crumbled up?
Yeah. I used to crush those in
Yeah.
high school. The honey ones.
Yeah.
The oat honey ones.
Exactly.
I used to
Those are nice.
crush them.
That's not
And
breakfast.
It's such shit for you, bro. The seed oils,
It's horrible.
everything on the inside that makes that little square that basically has no shelf life
Right.
up, or rectangle, I should say, that has no shelf life. Everything that makes that thing just screams
Yep.
problems for
Yep.
for not only your gastro
Everything
tract,
else.
but everything.
Absolutely. It's all
Everything.
one system at the end of the day. So that's why I always tell patients, like, I don't want to be one of those doctors that prescribe patients medications all the time. I want them to be as off of as many medications as they can. I want them focused on the diet, the exercise, these kind of, it's free. Dieting doesn't really cost you that much if you think about it. How many times you go out and eat food or Uber Eats, man, you're raking in at least $50-$60 just for a little
Just
plate.
for one meal versus spending 50,
Right.
60 bucks and having at least 3 to 4.
Exactly. Yeah. So like a lot of these things goes a long way. So that's why I wanted to incorporate what I do personally with me being a medical doctor, with the knowledge I have and now the accessibility I have, that I can actually help people, with it.
What's the standpoint on dairy?
Oh man. I'm all right with it.
Yeah.
I'm not a dairy guy, I drink almond milk,
Yeah.
you know.
I drink almond milk.
Drink almond milk?
I tried oat milk. I think they're all shit for you though.
Yeah,
Like,
at the end of the day,
I don't really know how they're made. I don't know how they're
yeah,
manufactured
you
and
can't be
processed.
milking no almonds.
Well, that's one of the jokes. Like, almond ain't got no
How can
titties.
you milk-
Almonds ain't
how
got no
can you
titties. How the hell are
can
you milking the
those
almonds?
things? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dairy, and actually what we found too, a lot of patients have been more and more lactose intolerant for whatever reason. Don't know why, but I've seen a lot more just having been unable to tolerate lactose.
Do you think it might be the shift from the 90s to early 2000s of them trying to get people away from consuming the dairy?
It could be.
And then the lack of dairy consumption bleeds into the children then because
Right.
their parents weren't consuming it for a while or whatever, and that maybe causes the resistance and the intolerance?
Exactly. It very well could be. I mean, right, growing up, it was always a cup of milk, right? You always had 2-3 cups of milk. That was the thing, right?
That was the thing. At most of my friends'
You're
houses,
younger.
my mom was always almond milk.
Absolutely.
We rarely had
Yeah.
milk in the house, but because we're Italian, we had cheese.
Right, right. Yeah, for whatever reason, people just become more resistant. And I think too, unfortunately, it's the quality of food that we have. You know, when you take a look at things, the quality of food, I'm sure today isn't as pure as what it used to be, right? They're getting pumped with everything you name of. You know, this growth hormone, this. Sometimes I'm wondering what did they inject in? You know?
Yeah.
Purdue, let me get some of that.
Yeah, bro. Just send the whole
Send me
just send the whole syringe, bro.
Send me something,
Just send
yo.
the syringe. Except I hate needles.
I'll buy the chicken too.
What was the glyphosates and all that stuff as well? They have in all the food now as well. Have you heard about those?
I've heard
that
about
was a new
them.
one.
They're adding so much now to all the foods, whether it's just for, you know, shelf life purposes and these kind of things just to make it last longer, cut costs.
Oh, the glyphosate's the Roundup. Are you snacking on cancer-causing weed killer? Here are the foods you need to avoid. Here we go. Let's see. What is glyphosate and why is it so dangerous? Glyphosate has been used as a herbicide to regulate plant growth, first registered to use in the US in 1974. Let me just say this. What I find very disturbing about the United States is the fact that the lobbyists that jerk off all these politicians and get these things to stay in our system is mind blowing.
Oh, yeah.
But in Europe, you have to prove that something is not bad for you,
Yeah.
and then they'll allow it. Versus us, where they'll just let you come out with it, and then you have to prove. Then after people get sick
Right.
and have fucking issues and cancers and shit
Money.
like that, then you have to go, well, how bad is this thing for you? No, dog, you should have said that from the
Right.
beginning.
From the start.
You should have done that from the beginning.
Yeah.
You're just
Even
you're-
the way they do calories. A lot of things that are 0 calorie, no calories.
oh, it's filled with
They're able
everything.
to get out of that, you know.
Used in food crops, glyphosate can be found virtually everywhere in the food chain, and concerns over the link between glyphosate toxicity and cancer is on the rise. The link to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is particularly strong. One study asserts that exposure to glyphosates triple the risk of a subtype of the disease called small lymphocytic lymphoma. In another study, participants who used 5 or more of 9 pesticides tested were twice as likely to develop non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Wow.
Glyphosate has also been associated with a host of other health issues, including liver damage, kidney disease, reproductive problems, and birth defects. Glyphosate products to avoid: granola
Shot.
by Quaker, Kind, Back to Nature, and Nature
Nature
Valley.
Valley.
Motherfuckers!
That's it. Bye-bye.
Instant Oats by Giant, Quaker,
Shoot.
Umpqua. Yeah, bodybuilders are screwed.
They're done. Finished.
Market Pantry, Whole Oats. Oh, I just had some this morning.
Finished.
Whole Oats by Quaker, Bob's Red Mill, Nature's Path, and Whole Foods.
And you would think those are the good ones.
Yep, Bob's Red
Bob's
Mill, man.
Red-
I trust that motherfucker on that
That's a
package,
brand.
and he lied to me.
Lied.
I'm gonna go beat the shit out of Bob now. Cereals by Kashi, Kellogg's, Lucky, and including Lucky Charms and Cheerios. Wow, shocker. Snack bars by Quaker, Kind, Nature Valley, and Kellogg's. Orange juice by Tropicana, Minute Maid, Signature Farms, Kirkland. Crackers, including Cheez-Its, Ritz, Triscuits, and Goldfish. Cookies by Annie's, Kashi, and Nabisco. Chips by Stacy's, Lay's, and Doritos and Fritos. Glyphosate has also been found in miscellaneous products like Ben & Jerry's ice cream.
Oh, come on.
Non-organic cotton products like tampons and clothing.
Good luck, ladies.
Yo, it's over.
That's it.
Dude, it's everywhere.
Everywhere.
And even drinking water. Great. It's been found in 75% of air and rain samples, according to a 2017 study, and it's regularly found in human urine.
I wonder how they found that one out.
Wait, there's something that says perhaps most discouraging are new findings on glyphosate in organic foods. Although decades worth of evidence supports the idea that organic foods contain lower or trace levels of pesticides than conventional foods, the latest tests show the levels are virtually the same. I mean,
That's horrible.
So like one of the issues that I have with the food, well, I shouldn't even say one of the many reasons I have issues with the food industry is that they label things as organic, grass-fed, all these things, cage-free, grain-free diet. It doesn't mean anything. They may have started it off on non-grain diet and then finished it grain finished. This is what I'm saying, man. This is the issue that I have with the lobbyists that have such a tie-in, food corporations and healthcare. This is the side of healthcare that I don't like. This is the side of healthcare I don't like because they line their pockets at the top of the line and trickling everything down to the guys like you.
Yeah.
They're keeping patients. We should be healing patients and teaching them how to not get to this point. Not, here's what you do once you fucking have cancer. It's like, whoa, what have I done to get cancer? Oh, well, you ate Nature Valley bars for 30 years and it's got glyphosates in it. Well, nobody told me that they're using it. What is a glyphosate? I've never done it. All right, so I'm gonna finish this article off with to avoid glyphosate poisoning. Here are some of the things that you can do. Look for labels. The Detox Project, which uses an FDA-registered food testing lab to test for toxic chemicals, recently launched a glyphosate residue-free label that companies can apply for, which you know they're not going to because it costs more money and they don't want to change their labels because they're assholes. But label that companies can apply for to certify their products. Until it rolls out more widely, you are more likely but not guaranteed to avoid exposure by opting for foods labeled certified organic. Number 2 is grow your own. Sick. Bro, I don't have room. I don't have room for an ice plunge in my house. You think I got room?
Dog would tear that up.
You think I got room for a garden now?
Tomatoes.
Grow your own. There are many healthy environmental benefits to growing your own plants, herbs, vegetables, and fruits. If you don't have time, source local produce from a farmer's market you trust. And number 3 is avoid using weed killer. When in doubt, avoid the use of weed killers that use the active ingredient glyphosate. If, however, you do encounter the substance, always wash your hands and or body afterwards. And if you get any glyphosate on your skin, in your eyes, nose, throat, follow the product's first aid instructions or call the poison center. That is scary enough.
Better off not eating.
But that's what I'm saying. That's scary enough. If you get it on your skin, your hands, bro, I'm ingesting it in some of these foods. What do you mean if I get it on my hands? 911. If I get it on my hands, call the poison control center.
It with your hands.
The fuck do I tell? What do I tell them if I ate it?
You're calling 911. Yeah, it's sad.
This is from a law team.
Wow.
In 2022, last modified in 2022. This is recent.
This is recent. Wow. Jeez.
And we wonder why we're having all these issues. People sit there and they're just confused as to why their energy is low, why they're fat, why they're just. Let's even just talk about on a mental standpoint, why their mind is fucked.
Right.
You know, I was eating like shit the last few years.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just kind of in that state of, oh, well, I'll get in shape. I'll get in shape.
Like
I kept putting it off. And that almost creates these little defeats in your own mind that you're not following through what you're telling yourself that you want to do. Right. I want to be able to take my shirt off in the summer. I want to feel good. I want my clothes to not feel tight on me. I want to be comfortable in my own skin like I was at one point. But you just keep going, yeah, well, it's easier to just grab this food. Or I'm laying on the couch late at night and I'm craving some ice cream or I'm craving something. And the next morning comes around, I feel like shit because I didn't eat well.
It's an instant regret. And then it's a cycle.
Every single time I buy a bag of Sour Patch Kids, I love Sour Patch Kids, and they're horrible for you. Every time I buy a pack of Sour Patch Kids, I'll eat that thing. It'll be gone within 3 minutes. I'll walk to the corner store. I'll go get it. I'll come back to my apartment. It'll be gone in 3 seconds. I didn't even get to enjoy it. And then I sit there and I go,
"What the?
That was 90 grams of sugar that I just ate.
Could have had a whole meal.
That was just what I ate, and I'm not even satiated."
Yeah. You feel like garbage.
And then, listen, man, your shit is horrible the next day too, because that's all crap and gummed up, and it's gross.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I take pride, in doing what I do, and God willing, as a doctor, in time to get patients the right way. Get them on track with these things. Let them know, look, it's easy to take care of your health. You can do it. Let me help you. Instead of, your blood pressure is a little bit high here. Here's a script. It happens, unfortunately.
Now, most patients are coming into you when there's already an issue, though. So, do you find that it falls on deaf ears when you start talking to them about things? Do they feel like the white towel's already thrown in, and there's no hope in getting
Yeah.
preventative treatment now because they are already sick or having symptoms or having issues?
Yeah, absolutely. So they'll come in and they're already stages ahead, into a disease state or diabetics. Let's say diabetics is a great case. Patients are coming in, they're feeling the symptoms, and then, we test their hemoglobin A1C and X, Y, and Z, fasting blood sugar. Hey, you're a diabetic, got to put you on, medication now. And it's a whole rabbit hole from there. One, they can't accept it. And then two, they want to say, okay, well, what can I do actually to reverse it? And I'm like, we're already in the hole.
Yeah.
There's ways to get out of it, but it's not as easy now. If you just took 2-3 days out of the week to exercise, instead of getting the food that they had at the cafeteria, bring yourself, food from home.
That's another thing. How shitty is the food at the hospital? That's one of the things
Horrible.
that I find crazy and insane.
Horrible.
You're in a place of health where
Right.
you want people to be not sick.
Yeah.
Who exposed it? Carnivore MD.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
that
yeah.
guy. So Carnivore
Absolutely.
MD, he went to a hospital, but you had people that were complaining at him that he was shit. Well, what if like that child that just had surgery wants to have that, this and that, like going on and on? It's like
No.
you're making all these instances up. The child who just had surgery probably should be eating real food, not shit food,
He's not eating.
not a bunch of processed things.
Oh, with gravy. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, not for nothing. I get looked at weird when I bring that 6-pack bag, the 6-pack fitness bag, whatever it is, with all my meals. I mean, I've had many 24-hour call shifts at the hospital where I'm, in the hospital for the 24 hours, can't leave. And I have all my food ready to go. And the amount of looks or the comments, you know how it is.
But if you told them that you were going out to go get beers after work, that they wouldn't
Let's do it,
they
baby.
wouldn't bat a fucking eye.
Nothing. Me carrying just my water, my water jug. Oh man, the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, you're drinking too much. You're gonna drown yourself in water. And I'm like, man, shut up. I look better than you.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Shut up. And for me too, that's one thing I take pride in as a doctor is I don't want to just talk it. I want to walk it. How can I be overweight and bad eating habits and X, Y, and Z? And I'm here telling you, yeah, you got to get healthy. How does that make sense? I always found that off. So for me, I never wanted to be that way. So at least when patients see, oh man, this guy's prepping his food. He's up 5 a.m, 4 a.m, all day, crazy stuff at the hospital. He still has time. I can too.
I find it funny that I've been told that I'm obese when I have more muscle mass
Right.
than like everybody in the office combined.
Right.
And I look at them and I go, I'm obese because it says on that chart
On
that I'm
that
obese.
BMI chart. Yeah.
Or am I obese just because, like, is this your way? Because if I'm obese, you are off the
On a
fucking
different
scales because that shit's crazy.
Yep.
It's just this weird disconnect with that side of prevention versus
Right.
treating.
Exactly.
And we don't like to say we're going to heal you. We don't like to say that we're going to fix you like that, but we're just going to give you the options to get better.
Right.
And the limited amount of time. I just saw my cardiologist recently. I saw him about 2 years ago. I don't take steroids.
Yeah.
I don't do anything. I've actually been doing more cardio lately.
Yeah.
But I still wanted to just get checked out for my own
Absolutely.
mindset, my own benefit. And he comes in the room, he's like, "You having any issues, Nick? Like, why are you here?" And I go, "Just getting checked out."
Check.
He goes, "Oh, okay." Like, checks me out. And then he goes, "Yeah, everything's great, just like I thought." I go, "Okay, cool." And he's like, "Yeah, we don't need to do the sonogram or anything like that." I said, "Okay, if you don't think that we need to, I was coming in just to get checked." He goes, No. I think I told you like 6 years to come back and get the sonogram done." I go, 6 years? Nah, dog.
Right.
Like, your health could change like that. Why am I going to
Absolutely.
wait 6 years?
Absolutely. And I think, a lot of it, unfortunately, this is something that a lot of people don't know. A lot of it deals with insurance companies, where they'll say, no, they don't meet the age criteria yet. Oh, they don't meet this criteria yet. If I have a patient that comes in and I know they need a certain scan, CT scan, an MRI, they'll say, I don't think so. Or just to get approved for a colonoscopy, let's just say. It's easier now, but, in the past, you had to have a good reason or meet the qualification. If you came to the office and said, My stomach's been off, not having good bowel movements, this and that, just things aren't sitting right. Say, all right, let's check it out. Denied. So that's why, unfortunately, a lot of times that happens, and then that prevents people from being preventative, and I think it's just awareness
So
at
now
this
what's the fix for that?
I wish I had, I think what I tell patients is one, don't be shy of seeing your doctor. If you don't like your doctor, find a new one, especially with this generation coming up. There's a lot more illnesses that are on the rise for whatever reason it is.
The fucking glyphosates and all the shit that they're putting in our food,
the
bro.
Nature Valley bars.
Dude, it's crazy.
I mean, look, there's a study, and I've noticed it as well in the outpatient clinic. Males our age, just in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, their testosterone levels have declined significantly in comparison to, 30, 40 years ago for whatever reason. And that causes a lot of issues for a lot of guys, but there's a whole stigma behind it, right? If you want testosterone or whatever it is because you need it. So that itself has been a very big thing as
Well, if
well.
I said I'm transitioning, they'd give me testosterone in
Easy.
a fucking heartbeat. But
Easily.
if I want it just because I want to feel better about myself and my levels are dipped and this and that, it's a whole process that you have to go through just to
Exactly.
even be potentially approved.
Like for me, I don't like treating off of the lab values. And I think I told you this once. When you get the blood work and things all look normal, they write you off, but you are telling me, no, man, I'm not digesting well. My metabolism sucks. No libido, no this, no that, no this, that. 1+1 isn't 2 in this case, but on the paper it shows. And I think that's the issue too. And look, I've worked with phenomenal doctors who have taught me. And I think, unfortunately, just with traditional medicine, that's why I want to change that myself.
They get stuck in a rut. They do the same thing over and over again.
Right.
They're used to giving the same answers. They're used to giving the same, just, box number 1's checked. All right, we're going to go to box number 4 now. Like, this is our order of operations, our PEMDAS is what we have to do.
Right.
So for them, it's not really a matter of let's get this person healthy and keep them healthy. It's let's just fix whatever's wrong with them and on to the next one.
And then we move on.
And that's another thing. I don't know whether the disconnect is with the insurance companies and the doctors, but you're seen like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like that. How the fuck are you supposed to teach me things or help me out if you see me within 5? I waited 45, 50 minutes to see you,
be seen
but I saw you for 5 minutes.
Well, that's how lately we've been trained to do the visits in a timely fashion. So,
But a timely fashion or as swiftly as possible.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
15 minutes is the standard that we should spend. One, because of the volume of patients that are now being seen, but also at the same time, and something that a lot of people don't realize, for us, we get hounded by insurance companies, especially when it comes to documentation. We're always now on a computer. Before
I see mad assistants. Y'all don't have assistants for that?
Yeah,
I see mad girls working behind the screen. I see like 4 or 5 different segments. You're telling me they're not doing data entry? You're doing the data entry? What the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, believe it or not, especially in the hospital setting. Yeah, I'm typing away, typing. That's what you got to do because it's all legal documents. You have to make sure you put the right orders in.
Hey, you don't want to deal with malpractice and all that shit.
That itself is another thing. So it takes time away from the patient. That's why I like venturing off what I'm doing on the side with a company I started working with, because I can now take the time to just sit, with the patient and say, all right, tell me what's going on without any judgment, or without me writing anyone off, Don't get me wrong. There are some times where patients chill out a little bit, you're okay. It's okay. Right. We have, I'm sure you're thinking of some people in mind. Yeah, you're okay. You're okay, Jack.
Yeah. Oh,
it's okay.
man.
Drink some water.
Drink some water. Take a shit. You'll be all right. You'll be all right, bro. Go eat a steak.
Get some psyllium husk.
Yeah, go eat a steak. Take some psyllium husk and go have sex. You'll be all right.
That's it, chief. But yeah, medicine is, it's changed in that sense. That's why I want to change it as best as I can. I'm only one person, obviously, but hey,
one person can make a big impact.
If I can help one person, that's my job.
It's about getting the message out. It's about being proactive and helping people. It's about spreading the awareness that there's somebody that actually is interested and has a vested interest in helping a person. Because it's not just a number patient to you. It's actually giving back in more meaningful ways.
Yeah. Like I had a friend of mine, He reached out to me on Instagram once and was like, "Hey, look, I just saw my primary. They started me on blood pressure medications, cholesterol medications." He was 35 or 36, still very young. I said, show me, what the blood work is. I'll take a look for you. And I said, all right, what are you doing your day to day? What's your diet? What's your exercise? He said, I'll be honest. The moment they say, I'll be honest.
I'll be honest. I sit on the couch and eat
I
a
ain't
tub of
doing
lard
nothing.
every night.
Yeah. So I helped him a little bit with the diet. I'm no nutritional coach, but I think I know a decent
You know
amount.
some shit.
Yeah. I gave him a little diet, little exercise plan. Man, they came back in 2 months and said, I'm on no medications. My blood pressure went from 142 over 80 to 120 over 75. My fasting blood sugar went down. My hemoglobin A1C, which is a marker for diabetes, went down. I'm on no meds.
Why am I not shocked?
I'm a new man. Thank you. I didn't ask for nothing. I don't want nothing from it. Hey, you're good? Perfect. Okay, he had a baby girl, I remember. That's it. And unfortunately, a lot just, I don't know if it's because the educational aspect, because even in medical school, we don't learn much about nutrition. Like we have the dietitians in the hospital for that. For me, I'm fortunate because I've been used to it, growing up in
The Bev's atmosphere.
Bev's, right,
Total
exactly.
nutrition.
Exactly.
Tyler was busting my balls. He said, yo, ask Shehata why he sold me SARMs.
Yeah.
He goes, a bunch of bullshit.
He looked pretty good to me. I don't know.
Tyler.
Yeah, so it's a lot of these kind of things, there's so much that you can do. I hate putting patients on medications. Don't get me wrong. There are medications that people do need for certain diseases, for sure. But
your general 25 to 35-year-old male should not be on fucking med. You should be on vitamins.
Right.
You should be training. You should be eating healthy. You should be getting your water consumption in. You should be going to sleep early.
Right.
What was that statistic I heard on Rogan? It was that the testosterone is that of if you don't sleep, if they don't, if let me
get like the 8 hours,
8 hour
sleep.
window of sleep or 7 to 8 hour window of sleep, the testosterone is that of 10 years older than what they actually currently are.
Yep.
That's a wild statistic.
Absolutely.
Do you see a lot of test dips with the people that you work with?
For sure. Like what? Medical doctors I work with or patients, you mean?
Patients.
Yeah, for sure. And especially recently, I've noticed a lot of guys, their levels for whatever reason, and they're no gym guy that used to be on gear or anything like that where you had a good reason. No, just average Joe, construction worker,
Low
banker,
test.
low test. And they're feeling horrible. And they'll come up to me and they'll say, hey, look, like I saw my doctor. My level is a 350, right? The lower end of normal is like around that N300 range. Oh, but they said it's normal. But I feel horrible. I can't get I can't get nothing up.
Can't get bricked up.
Nothing. No sex drive, nothing. You shouldn't be living like that. It's a quality of life thing now. It's not just because I want to put someone on testosterone therapy. It's because their quality of life is affected. So that's for sure been happening. I mean, I noticed it within myself. When
you saw test levels dip?
For sure. So when I graduated medical school, it was at the height of the pandemic. I won't say the C word. The height of the at the height of the pandemic in 2020. And that's when I started right away. I went from the books to, all right, now you got these dying patients with whatever, help them. So it was a lot of stress on my body. I was getting no sleep. I mean, I had a lot of 24-hour shifts, a lot of late night calls, a lot of times going into the hospital 4 or 5 in the morning just to round on patients. And for a good year and a half during residency, so not that far off, I felt off. I said, this is not me. I know what I'm used to feeling. I did blood work. Everything was off. I'm a young guy. I'm 31. Everything dropped when I compared it to pre-residency.
And what do you think that was? Do you think that was more so you weren't training, you weren't eating right? Do you attribute it to maybe just getting older for some of it? Do you attribute it to the increased cortisol and stress levels?
I think a lot of it was from the stress for sure. Lack of sleep. I mean, I'm sleeping 4 hours, 5 hours a night.
That's rough, man.
And I'm up at the hospital, especially when I'm on the gastroenterology service where I have to see 20 plus patients in
It's a lot of butts, man.
It's a whole lot.
That's a lot of cheeks, man.
5 in the morning.
Ooh,
good morning.
Cheeked up.
I'm there at 4 in the morning. And by the time I come back, I still like to work out, right? By the time that's done in the evening, I eat, FaceTime with the girl. That's it. Boom, it's 11, 12 o'clock. Up at it again. So a lot of it dealt with sleep, for sure the diet, and the training. I noticed a huge decline, especially during that pandemic time. No gyms were open and these kind of things. That took a big hit for me. So
Saving
that,
grace was buying the stuff from my garage. Otherwise, I would have been fucked, man.
there you go. Yeah.
I still gained a ton of weight, but I probably would not have gained. I probably would have gained much more if
Yeah.
I didn't have that gym in the garage.
Yeah. I wish I had that. I was doing like curls with like a 20-pound dumbbell that I had from like years ago. That's all what I had.
Yeah.
Or I would get book bags. I'd fill them up, put a broomstick in between them. I'm stupid me just trying to bench it.
That's how I was until
You
I
know?
just had a fuck it moment and I just bought I bought all the Rogue shit.
Right, right.
I literally said fuck it. I just went, you know what? Let me
Great
just
investment.
I said let me spend it all. It's at my mom's right now because I'm in an apartment.
Yeah.
But one of the office spaces, depending on the price, is a warehouse. So I'll be able to have like
Nice.
I'll put the gym in there.
That'd be
I'll just
nice.
fucking work
Rizzy
out.
Fitness Center,
That's
baby.
it, brother.
Let's
That's
go.
it. That's it, bro. I'll have the Rogue. I mean, I
got
went,
the reins. That's it.
dude. I went all out, man. I bought
Yeah.
calibrated 45-pound plates from Rogue.
That's amazing.
All the powerlifting plates. I bought horse stall mats to have everything on. I bought the big Rogue rack with the fat pull-up bar to work that. Landmine extension on the Rogue rack. Bulgarian split squat attachment for the rack.
That's it.
I bought the assault bike.
Man, you had it all.
Oh, dude, I spent.
Could have charged guest passes.
I
during
could
that
have,
time, honestly.
for sure. Alico, I bought all Alico kettlebells and a couple of Alico
Wow.
change plates. It was ridiculous. We got a Sorinex power bar.
Oh my
We
God.
got a Rogue power bar. We got a Kabuki Cadillac bar for benching
Shoot.
and rowing.
That's nice.
And I got a rackable curl bar.
More than most gyms.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
No, crazy. I spent it all. I said
I was gonna say,
it was
at that
any
point you
type
had
of
to.
it was any type of
For this.
yeah, dude. It was any type of what's it called? It was any type of what was the stimulus? Any stimulus I got, I spent it all. It was a gym.
Yep.
I spent it all on gym shit.
Yep. That's all what I was trying to do, but things were tough because of the workload at that time and gyms were closed.
You know, I was sitting around.
I had the most exercise I would do is I would refuse to take the elevator. Just walk the stairs.
I bet you were huffing and puffing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you were huffing and puffing.
Especially because we would have to triple mask up.
and you weren't used to.
And if you weren't wearing a mask in the hospital and you got caught, woo, man, you're going to jail.
Nah, I wouldn't have made
You're
it.
going- you're
I wouldn't have
going-
made it. They would have kicked my ass out within 4 seconds. They'd been like, "Get the fuck out."
You're going to jail.
Like, yeah, whatever.
It was
Peace.
tough. So I noticed that decline in me health-wise. I said, man, I can't keep living like this. And I said, if I'm trying to do what I can just with food preparation and trying to go to gym as best as I can only imagine how others are feeling, not even doing a fraction of that. I said for myself, no, I got to fix myself and start helping others that are in this kind of situation. Because it took a toll. A lot of people don't realize that. If you don't feel well inside, everything else on the outside that's especially when I see patients, I tell them, look, if you're not functioning or when you are functioning well on the inside, everything else is great. Your relationships, your friendships, your business, right? You're going to flourish in business when you feel good. Just everything else.
And it corrodes quicker than it does than it builds up.
Yeah.
It goes quick. It goes by
like that.
quick.
I mean, I remember I was trying to prep for my first show. It was during 2020 for the what's that show in March? It was
Long Island's.
not the Long Islands. It was the one
Mets?
in the Metropolitans.
Yeah, Metropolitans.
I said, man, before I graduate med school, I'm on. Let's do it. And I think I was like 14 weeks out, and then boom, pandemic hit. I was done. As if I never weight trained in my life. 1 month out of the gym, because you were also in that, I'm gonna order food now and these kind of things, right?
Dude, first month
Felt like a vacation.
felt like a vacation. You were just like, wow, it's kind of nice to just be able to chill and not have to
Right.
do anything, not have to go anywhere. I just got Kenji. It was nice, but I also needed a break
Yeah.
because having a puppy is tough.
Absolutely.
If you're home all day.
Right.
So some people loved it. I didn't.
Yeah.
He was a lot. Akitas are a different breed. It's a very different mindset for them. They're very clingy to one owner. So the separation anxiety is still something we're working
Of course.
on. But it was tough because like when I wanted breaks, I had to put him in his crate. But when he's in his crate, then he thought it was punishment. So he'd start getting annoyed, and then I can't let him out because he's making noise, so I have to wait it out. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get out of this fucking house. I
You're
can't
trapped.
sit here anymore. My mom's on the phone. She's home all the time. Now I'm stuck in my bedroom because now I'm a 29, 30-year-old man stuck in my bedroom because she's not going to work. I don't have peace and quiet that way. I don't have any girls around. There's nothing going on. The dog won't stop. It's yelling. I'm like, oh my God, I just want to just go away. So, me and the boys, we were fucking drinking every night.
Yeah.
All day, actually.
Exactly.
We were drinking all day.
That's what it was.
Whiskey, playing hit COD. That was probably the best part.
That's
playing COD, hanging out. But then after like the month 2, start touching yourself. You're like, getting kind of squishy, man. I'm not training. I'm not doing things. I'm not moving. I'm very sedentary.
You used to go from doing cardio twice a day, eating, right, all the meals, to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that hit.
Yep.
It hit.
Yeah, it was a very weird feeling when it actually came about. And then, by, what was it? It started March. I want to say by like May, June, I was like, fuck it, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, I truly don't care.
I went out without a gym, right? Even the gym that at the apartment I moved into when I moved to Jersey for residency, it was nothing. And especially coming from Bev's, like, come on. Once I knew that a gym in Jersey opened by me, it was like 35 minutes away, 40 minutes. I would drive to it. I said, screw it. It's what I got to do. I would drive after work 30, 40 minutes one way. I had to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to wear a mask too? Fine, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
I wear this thing every day.
Whatever it takes, I will do it.
And people were like, really? I'm like, you don't understand. This is for here.
Yeah, the mental clarity thing is huge. Since I've had this shift, this euphoric shift in my mindset and business and just everything that I have to just, I need to get things done, not because I want to, but because I need to and I have to. Like just setting this up. I feel bad for people that listen all the time because I sometimes repeat myself with a bunch of stuff, but with Kenji and his epilepsy and stuff like that, he's good. Don't get me wrong, he's good, but I like to keep an eye on him. So if I was waking up, he needs Keppra.
Really?
He's on Keppra.
Okay.
Yeah, so he takes Keppra every 12 hours. He's on the extended release.
Yeah.
So he takes it at 8 a.m. and he takes it at 8 p.m. So if I have people that hit me up at like 7 o'clock, 7:50, hey, you want to do something like that? I got to wait till the dog gets his medicine. Same thing in the mornings. So like to shoot people early in the morning. So now that gives me a 12-hour cap of like my day.
You got to do it.
So if I come here, get my work done, stuff like that, but then I haven't hit the gym yet, it's like 3, 4 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm going to go to the gym now, but he needs to be walked too. So I drive from Roslyn back to Huntington, go and take care of him,
right.
Make sure he's good, then leave, go to the gym, and then it's like 7 o'clock at night. I'm looking, I'm like, God damn, I got to get home to give him this fucking pill.
Right.
So now my new schedule makes life a lot easier. I have to give a lot of praise to Evan, who was a guest last week.
Yeah.
This week. Jesus, the week's going.
I was going to say you had a busy week.
Monday, it's been a busy week.
This week.
Evan, who was a guest. Oh no, his episode released this week. He was on last Friday, so he was on a week ago. OG is phenomenal. It's not that I ever shit on group training facilities, but I just didn't think it was something for me. Big Meadows guy, like train by myself, iron the fucking shit out, but this and that. But now I get up at 4:45 every day. Yeah. I sit at my table. I journal for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I journal. I do my thing. I drink my water. I grab my non-stim pre-workout, and then I head out, and I'm there at 6 a.m. I bang my workout out at 6 fucking m. I don't care if it's...
You've already done more than the average person.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm home by 7:45, 7:50. Pill for Kenji. I got the whole day.
You already did.
I don't have to do anything else in terms of my physical activity or anything like that. My mind is clear. Everything's good. He has his pill. Right. I can think now. Am I going to bring him to my office? Am I going to leave him home? Right. Am I going to get some work done? Do I have shoots? I'm able to now think clear and not have to worry about, well, midday, end of the day, I still got to go to hit the gym to keep my sanity.
Absolutely.
Nope. It's fucking done.
Yeah.
And I feel great with that type of schedule. But I'm also sleeping early. So I go to sleep at like 9 o'clock. So your day off shoots.
That's okay.
Yeah, your day off shoots a little bit. So it's just...
It's discipline.
It's keeping the balance and keeping the discipline and the promise that you made to yourself that you be better and do better.
Absolutely. And I applaud you for doing that. Not many do that, by the way. You know, the fact that you're taking control of that takes a lot. It's tough waking up the time you wake up, just go to the gym.
It is. And I've
You
had a lot
know?
of friends tell me that too. They're, oh, I could never. Yeah, you could.
Could.
You can.
Yeah, that's what
All you got to do is tell yourself, like, I'm getting up at this time,
Right.
and don't hit the fucking snooze button. The second you hear that alarm go off, get out of the damn bed.
Do it.
Just
I'm
get out. The mastermind group that I'm forming,
Yeah.
the mastermind group that I'm forming has quite a bit of, I don't want to call them rules, but they're non-negotiables for the group.
Okay.
Things that you will hold yourself accountable to, and the rest of the group will hold you accountable to. And I was reading some of them to my mom, because my mom's a business professional. She does her own thing, so I always run business stuff by her. And I run it by her, and she just goes, this is going to, like, a lot of people aren't going to be okay with. I said, that's the point.
Right.
The point is, I don't want people that are going to be weak-minded, that are just going to give in after 3 days of doing something that's difficult. You need to hold yourself accountable. You know, one of the lines, I made a whole video, and it's actually far too long. That's why I haven't released it yet for the group, that I'm going to send out to every single person that asked me to join. But the video that I created goes over every single thing.
Okay.
And in the video, which is a huge sticking point to me, and in transparency and just being upfront, is I said, I'm not your father, and I'm definitely not your fucking mother.
Right.
So I will not sit here and hold your hand so that you can be pushed into doing better.
Right.
You need to want it. You need to know that you're due for more, and you have to hold yourself accountable into being more.
Yeah.
There's none of this wishy-washy shit, because the second that you fall off,
That's
you're
it.
out, bro.
You're done.
I don't want you in the group anymore.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's no, oh, well, I fucked up. No, you get up the same time every fucking day. If you dedicate yourself to get up at 4:45, 5 a.m. every single day, every day you get up the same time. It doesn't matter if it's the weekday. It doesn't matter if it's the weekend.
Right.
Because if your circadian rhythm is going to be functioning on that high level the entire time,
You don't want to disrupt that.
once the weekend comes, oh, I'm going to sleep until 10.
Nope.
What? What's going to happen on Monday when you're going to get back up at 6 again?
Good luck.
5 again?
Good luck.
It's just about wholly, like you're saying,
Yeah.
making the critical judgment that it's time to be serious about my life, to be serious about the things that I want to do, and understanding that if you're going to be wishy-washy and kind of drift through and not have things planned out and not have your calendar in order and not do, it's not going to happen for you.
Everything in my day is timed out. I can't function if it's not, I have to. You know, I know every morning I'm up, 4:35 in the morning, cooking my breakfast first thing. Everything else is already
And you do the
packed.
six-pack fitness thing, which is
Every day,
I have to get one again. I really do. I have to get one again because I used to have one. And it's tough to bring around the Tupperware without something like that, and that thing just helps you. You grab it, you have it.
I'll pack all my meals the night before, so I have no excuse.
There's no thought process. That's one of the things.
I don't even think about it. Like my girlfriend, she'll laugh about it, and she'll be like, "I see you prepping food when we're on FaceTime," and it's like you don't even, like you're just doing it. It's like second nature.
It's automated for you.
It's automated.
Your body, you're driving stick shift.
The scale, measuring the rice, this, that, like I think that's how you really succeed though, is when you keep yourself structured in that sense. A lot of the top successful guys, I think Rock always like shows how he's like up, at certain times an hour, working hard.
I wish I was a Rock fan.
Yeah, he's
I'm not I used to be a Rock fan. I am not a Rock fan. I just feel like, by the way, the fact that went an hour and 40 minutes and you didn't crack that is
my favorite flavor, by the way.
Yo, I was waiting. I'm like, is he gonna drink this at all? I said I was waiting for him to crack it.
It's the only stuff I drink on my 24-hour shifts.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you need it, dude. I gotta get you some. I gotta get you some of these Storms. The Storms
those look good.
They're really good. Really good. So when I first tried it at the Arnold, and we're gonna get back to the Rock. When I first tried it at the Arnold, the Storms, I tried the green apple kiwi. Tastes like a green Jolly Rancher. It's phenomenal. Then I tried the peach nectarine. Delicious. Peach nectarine was fire. Then I had the orange and the grape. I wasn't a fan of the orange and the grape. Grape is like hit or miss with flavoring.
Grape can be.
But then I had the orange this morning on the way over here.
That's good. I feel like it chilled. It would be nice.
And it was delicious.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I was
creamsicle.
like, okay. I was like, yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, this is fire. So I love the orange. I got to retry the grape now. Now I got to retry it. I feel like there's a lot of fluff on the Rock. I feel like
yeah, of course.
The dude's dedicated.
A lot of it is gimmick. It's business.
Dude, he's also natural, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know what pancakes he be eating that he
Yeah,
posts,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Tren cakes.
That's the yeah, that's the
Tren
secret
cakes.
sauce.
Yeah.
What maple syrup you putting on?
Yeah. Yeah. Infused with test.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, dudes can't just be honest about what they
Yeah.
do. I don't get it. The
can't
second that I
stand
start
that.
taking, I'm telling everybody. I'm gonna be mad excited.
I'm on, baby.
Yo, bro, I'm on, man.
Let's go.
I'm waiting.
I'm a new man.
Yeah. But what it comes down to is he is dedicated. He is, without question, he is dedicated. And that's the type of resilience that you
Exactly.
need to have in life. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm somebody that has learned and heard a lot from a lot of different people, fused a lot of these ideologies together, and I'm beginning to shape my life the way I want to.
Yeah.
We're 31.
Yeah,
We're both the same
you
age.
and I-
We're 31. We feel older, but we're not. We have so much in front of
So much
us,
gas in the
so
tank.
much time, so many things to experience, so many life experiences that are coming to us. The fact that we're getting our headspace set like this,
Yeah.
most dudes don't do this at all.
No.
If ever.
Lazy.
It's the mindset.
I'll give you a good example. When I started residency, I knew I wanted to get the fellowship in gastroenterology. Getting GI is the toughest fellowship in internal medicine to get.
Really?
It's
I wouldn't.
the most competitive, believe it or not.
Is it because there's so many people that are applying for the same thing, or there just so many grade A people that go into that field?
It's a mix. I think most of it is because of lifestyle, and it's just a good field to be in because you got, patient encounter, but also procedures. But it's this past year it's called a match. It was the toughest specialty to get. But since first year for residency, I said, I want gastro. Always. I want GI. And I was always told, no, it's too tough. You can't. And then when I started doing rotations on the service, man, I would never take a day off. Like I'm saying, our rotations are 1 month long. Monday to Sunday, never a day off. Even post 24-hour call, I'd finish my responsibilities in the ICU and then still go see my patients, on GI. No sleep. And I would do that. And people would be like, oh, man, you're doing too much. That's not going to get you the position. You're doing too much.
Certainly will.
Yeah. What time are you coming in? What time is this, that? And then you know what? I stuck with it, with the hard work, and it happened. And, that's one thing I try and preach too. I mean, it's kind of like what you said, right? You're not a motivational speaker, but, with life, things that you do and have done and have accomplished, one biggest thing I say is the hard work. Always work your hardest. Always, because you never know, too, who's watching.
Get uncomfortable being uncomfortable, too.
For sure. There were a lot of times where I was waking up 4 a.m. and, just upset because I'm being told by others, hey, no, you can't get this position no matter what you do. Program director, he's not going to vote for you. All right, no problem. I did it even more.
And they start ingraining these limiting beliefs in your mindset. So you have
People
to plug them
start
out.
limiting themselves. That's what I'll never understand. When you start putting self-limitations on yourself, and I don't get people who put self-limitations on others. Don't tell me what I can do. I'll try it. If I get it, great. If I don't, that's all right.
Worry about your damn self. Don't worry about me.
Exactly. Focus on yourself. Don't put limitations. Even when it just me trying to say, yeah, I go to the gym after work and I got to study after, they're like, oh, you can't. It's impossible to do both. I'm like, all right, no problem. You can't do it. I can do it. I've done it.
I actually have something for you.
Yeah.
This is... I've been listening a lot to that dude, Bedros Keuilian. He's fucking...
Maybe by face or like voice.
Bro, he's fucking awesome. We were DMing each other actually the other day. He's like one of these mogul multimillionaire dudes. This cat. You've probably seen on my story.
Yeah.
So we've been DMing a little bit, talking.
Nice.
He invited me to come out to one of his seminars, and I'm like, I'm going to be in Germany, but I'd love to next time. So when you talk about like all these people and limiting beliefs and telling you different things, this.
Said that they were your friends, that they're your homies, that they're your buds, they're your coworkers, happy hour, this and that. The moment you're like, sorry guys, I'm not doing happy hour. In fact, I'm gonna leave work and go work out. They're gonna start talking shit. Oh, look at you all healthy. Look at you. You're gonna have abs. How are you gonna do? You're gonna have abs. Guess what? Well, look at you. You're gonna have titties. You're gonna have cancer. You're gonna have anxiety and depression because you're such a piece of shit. The degenerate.
That's so great.
Talking on someone who's trying to level up in their life,
Yeah.
in their marriage,
Level
as
up.
a father, in their personal income, in their health, in their mindset. How dare they? That society has got to a place that when you try and better yourself, that they will throw shade on you.
1000%.
I believe that you have the right
Ready for the
to
end?
throw
The end's
shade
great.
back. You just slap their gelatinous. Milk you, bro.
Milk you, bro.
Build some packs.
That's literally what we just spoke about.
Yes. Yeah. All the other,
Dude.
I'm sure all the other fucking people in the programs giving you shade
Tell
for
me
going.
what I can do. You know, even
And realistically, they're more so just envious that you're able to stick to something and
Yeah.
commit to something that you're telling yourself that you're gonna do.
Yeah.
You're better for doing it. I'm in a great state, great position, whatnot, and I'm gonna continue this.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna continue. I mean, look at you, bro. You look great.
Yeah.
No, for real, dude.
Yeah.
You're like no gas. You're in great shape.
Yeah.
You look phenomenal. What other doctor looks like you that I know of? Fucking none.
minimal. Yeah.
None. They
Yeah.
eat like shit. They don't practice what they preach,
Nope.
and they're more on the preventative side. They're not on the let's get things serious and healthy
I
going
want to talk
forward
it and
side.
walk it. That's my thing. You know, one thing that I want to practice is longevity of life. You know, I want patients to be healthy. I want people to be healthier. You know, that's to be the whole point. That's why I got into this, field of medicine. I didn't sacrifice like 20 years of my life, just to write prescriptions all day.
Oh, you didn't?
You know what I mean?
I thought that's why.
Like
people
I
get
said,
into medicine.
there's a time and a place. Don't get me wrong. There's a time and a place for comorbidities and diseases, but that's not why I got into it. It's so that I can take care of, X, Y, and Z people, and they come back, and say, I feel great. Let's keep it going. Hey, I dropped 20 pounds. Just that one guy on Instagram that I knew lowered his blood pressure. That could have saved him from a whole bunch of issues.
And that is one of the big issues. The big issue is inflammation in the body.
Absolutely, especially with, blood pressure. So like one of my goals is, you're going to hear it first on the podcast,
Let's
right?
go.
I plan on being the bodybuilder's doctor. That is my goal. So like our family, like at Bev Francis, right? I look at that place like home for me, right? I'll never be an IFBB. I'll never step on stage more than likely. And, pro bodybuilder, X, Y, and Z.
It's not that.
It's not that.
It's glorified, but it ain't that
Yeah,
big a deal. I'm telling you.
I like my
promise
Rice
you.
Krispies. I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
I promise you. Yeah, stay like this.
Yeah.
Have balance.
Balance.
Be able to enjoy some shit foods in your diet every now and then.
Absolutely.
But to keep yourself in check instead of just going 150% in one fucking psychotic direction.
It hurts.
And then it affects not only yourself, but it affects everybody around you, and you're a misery to be around.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I've had
Balance.
patients that have, that have lived that life, that are competitors currently. And you look at their blood work, trash.
Yeah.
Horrible. They feel horrible.
They look good on the outside, but they're
Horrible.
dying on the
Bad.
inside.
And so for me, especially because, right, as we were talking about before, unfortunately, our industry, they've lost a lot of good people, a lot of good bodybuilders. God rest their soul. I won't name any of them. But we lost a lot of good people, in this industry. And when I look and I hear the stories, whether they're true or not, I'm like, man, if only that guy had, a doctor that he could have texted, come to frequently for blood work, check-ins, the same way they're checking in with their coach. Hey, checking with me or their doctor. Man, that could have saved them, especially with things like blood pressure. I've noticed for like the bodybuilders, it's the blood pressure and the reflux.
Acid reflux.
That's what gets
a lot
them.
of them have acid reflux.
That's what gets them. And that's my field now. Like the endoscopies, it's to look for the ulcers.
In the
All
stomach is what it is.
Yeah, the esophagus and the stomach.
What would cause that they're taking?
So like,
Because that's what I instantly go to. Because theoretically, their diets aren't bad. Their
Right.
diets are generally good.
for the most part, it
Except
is
for,
good.
when I had my first coach that made me eat tilapia
Uh-huh.
for 5 days, for
thins
5
your
or
skin.
6 meals a day.
Thins your skin.
Yeah, it thins your skin. No jackass. It's just low calorie. You fucking
It
moron.
thins your skin.
Yeah, that's what it does.
I
Thins
didn't
my
realize it,
skin.
and I'm like, oh, these guys on diuretics. I couldn't believe it, how many are on diuretics.
Yeah.
Man, I put people on diuretics that are in heart failure, that have, edema, fluid accumulation. I put patients on diuretics who have liver cirrhosis, right? Scarring of the liver, which ends up causing, ascites, which is abdominal fluid. Those are the patients I put on diuretics. Not because you're about to hop on stage and you want to take
Dries me out.
20, yeah, it dries you out. What do you mean?
Diazide is one
Yeah,
of them.
aldactone, all these
Yep.
things. I hear about it and I see it on the blood work because it messes with their electrolytes. And that causes heart arrhythmias. What ends up happening with that? You die. So that I wanna take care of our guys in that sense. Because it's tough. A lot of these guys can't just go to a regular doctor and they'll freak out on their labs. But I think a lot of it is because the weight that they put on. So the gear, yeah, it does take a toll for sure, especially if they are running, higher amounts than more than what they're saying
Which
probably.
most of the time they are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If you're stepping on that stage, you're probably running a decent amount. It's part of it, but there's ways about it. But I think a lot of it deals with just the food consumption. A lot of these guys are eating. Yeah, they're eating good for the most part. A lot of these guys are putting on a lot of weight. Plus the gear that they're taking, all that weight that's being accumulated. One, that's not only going to now cause that acid reflux. When you have all this reflux coming up, it's irritation. What ends up happening, you get ulcers. What happens to the ulcers? You bleed out from them.
And that's what happens to anorexics or bulimics.
So they have something where
They throw up the food.
when
And then
they throw
have
up too much, they have a tear, actually, called Mallory-Weiss tear, usually. And it's a tear in the esophagus lining where because of all that forceful vomiting, and then they start bleeding. They got hematemesis, which is bloody vomiting.
Oof.
Yeah, and then we got to go in there with the scope, patch them up. Yeah, but like I've heard of some of the bodybuilders that unfortunately have passed, and I've heard that they've had bad GERD, bad reflux, bad ulcers, and just was never treated. And I'm like, man, I could have treated that guy. That guy still would have been here, probably won an Olympia. So many of them.
Did they? I know Meadows was big.
Yeah, he was one that just came to my mind.
Yeah, man, that was a tough one.
God rest
Meadows
his
was,
soul.
yeah, for real, dude. He was great.
Kind man.
Oh, he's
I
the
still
best.
have his programs. I watch his YouTube
Yeah, dude.
videos.
Yeah. He
He was very big with health.
One of the things that he was very big on was fasting. And not necessarily like intermittent fasting,
Right.
but just fasting and giving your body and your GI tract some time to
You gotta let it
recover
chill out.
and get to the next, be able to,
Absolutely.
because if you're just meal 1,
Pounding
meal
calories.
2, meal 3, meal 4, meal 5, meal 6, sleep, meal 1, meal
Right.
2, for years and years, it's just putting an unnecessary toll because you're eating far more food than any generations
Whole
prior.
can handle.
It's just like, holy shit, it's just like a
Yeah.
nonstop influx of just
Yeah.
insulin, down, up,
Right.
down, up. It's like, dude, just chill for a little
Yeah.
bit. Just-
And that's what ends up happening. And then especially with all that weight gain, what ends up happening is their blood pressure starts to increase. Once you have hypertension, high blood pressure, that's now going to affect your kidneys. It's now going to affect your heart. Now you're talking about a whole different ballpark.
a whole plethora of issues.
And I find it crazy that you're a bodybuilder, and you're promoting this and that, but you're telling me you're on blood pressure meds. Like you shouldn't be a professional bodybuilder. And yeah, I'm taking, whatever blood pressure medication. No, man, you got to fix what's going on because it catches up. It catches up to you. So I think a lot of it comes from what we just talked about with the food intake, obviously the gear, and just not getting checked.
We have to stop. I know it's illegal. I know it's illegal, but the demonizing conversation where dudes don't even want to talk about it some of the times.
Yeah.
You got to be realistic.
You have to.
Just be open and upfront.
Yeah.
Like, what are you taking? How much are you taking? Because I've had guys that I know that lied to their coaches about what they were taking.
Right.
So the coach said, take X amount of this, and they took X amount of a different gear. And then I said to them, I go, dude, this is how you die.
Yep.
Your coach thinks you're taking this, or you're not taking that compound at all, and you're taking more of another compound. So they think that what they told you to take is leaning you out and helping, but it's what you're taking. It's totally
you're
different.
Doing opposite.
So what are you
It's an
doing?
addiction.
I don't understand what the thought process is. Just be fucking real.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just be real about it. Be open about it. We all know. So like some of them will get thrown off. And I'm like, all right, tell me about the stuff that you take. They're like, yeah, just test. I'm like, no, what else? Primo, trend, this, that.
People,
And
like
they're like,
everything.
they're like, what? How do you, I gotta look like I know this stuff. I'm like, no, I know. Just tell me, be open. Because now I can help you. I'll never tell someone, hey, like, don't do it. I'm no one to tell that to someone, but at least if we monitor it, we know where we're at. We can say, hey, just pull back a little bit. You know, especially those guys that are competing, prepping, and they're trying to drop weight, and like even classic physique guys, right? Those guys got to drop a whole bunch of weight, doing whatever measures they got to do. Man, I bet if I did blood work on them, I'm sure it doesn't look that good.
Probably not.
And they could probably still look the same and better if we adjust things. You know, like there's so many that come to my mind, and it's very unfortunate, you know, and that's the role that I want to play at least. You know, take care of these guys, you know, give back to the sport in that sense.
Were you close with Arash?
Arash, yeah, actually, he once coached me for a little bit.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
I remember you guys linked up.
Yeah, he once coached me for a
So
little
he
bit.
had Lyme disease.
Yeah, and I wanted to message him about it. I don't know if he'll see this, but
Probably not.
yeah, it's all right.
Not.
I'll message him.
It is what it is.
We'll edit the clip.
Yeah,
Send it to him.
it is what it is.
We'll edit the clip and send
Probably
it to
doesn't
him.
watch my show. It's okay.
That's all right.
I don't mind.
I remember, and then that was it for him. I mean, look, there's so many guys that have unfortunately suffered with, you know, whatever disease states, whatever it may be, and there's a point of no return. But that's funny. Yeah, he was one of my first coaches.
Yeah, it's crazy. Clay wanted to coach me originally.
Really?
Clay wanted to coach me. Then Sadiq
yeah.
wanted to coach me.
Sadiq.
Then Matt Acton wanted to coach me. And then I just told all of them, nah, I'm
Yeah.
not. And then I went with one of the worst fucking guys I could have probably went with.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever. I learned that I'm just good on that. If I'm going to have somebody coach me, they're going to be a doctor.
Right. That's it.
Which I always found interesting about this sport. I think I said it with Kareth. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. I'm going to say it anyway because I say it to
Say it.
everybody. What I find insane about this sport is you're taking these compounds that are not only illegal,
Right.
but the coach that's telling you to take them is just some fucking guy.
Just, bro.
It's not a guy that has years of extensive medical training with compounds and lab training and this and that. It's just a guy that goes, yeah, we gave X amount to this guy and it looked pretty good, so let's try that with you. It's
Right.
like, try that?
No
This
way.
is gonna alter my biochemistry.
Yeah.
This is gonna potentially kill me.
Yeah.
Like, and the dude's just okay, yeah, makes
And they'll
sense.
take it. Whatever it takes to win.
What?
And a lot of these guys that are telling them, just like the diet, I go back to the diuretics. If I ask them what the mechanism of action is, you know, what are the side effects? What are the electrolyte abnormalities that comes with diuretics? You know, tell me what happens to your potassium level when you take all these diuretics. They're not going to know what the hell that is. Little do they know, you mess with that blood level, you're dead. All you need is one arrhythmia, cardiac arrhythmia to go wrong.
The
Sudden death.
the edema after my first show was very scary.
That rebound, huh?
It was really scary. It was
Yeah.
really scary because I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. You're literally pushing through your shin, I'm sure.
It was bad, man.
Yeah.
It was bad. I do have photos. I could show you. So my Google photos, that's how you know it's old.
That's
Dude, it was bad, man. I mean, I didn't fucking know that you weren't supposed to continue eating like an asshole. It
no
took
one tells you these things.
Dude, it took so long to come off of me. I just figured like, oh yeah, whatever. I'll have abs for a little while. And that was
No one
not,
tells you these things.
dude, that was not the case. It was really, really scary. When was it? December. I probably looked that way in October. And then it was just what was the worst part about the whole thing was like I went from being shredded, absolutely peeled and diced
Yeah.
to, oh, he looks like he's out of shape. Like
Bag of just
2 days later
mush.
to 4 days later, looking like, yo, this dude's never touched a weight in his life.
And you put so much work, 23 weeks.
23 weeks of prep,
Gone.
all that cardio, everything, just to.
Michelin tire, man. You know? Yeah.
This is a video of me doing something. Oh god, I'm so scared of the form. I really
Those
thought,
old videos, right?
I really thought I knew it back then. I really did. I'm there, dude. I put a video up of me squatting one time, and
Cringy.
I put 2 plates on that thing, and I was barely quarter repping it.
And probably grunting.
I thought I was the shit,
Yeah.
and somebody called me out. They're like, "Yo, next time actually squat down. You're like
Damn.
barely." And I read that comment, and that always stuck with me. So
Yeah.
ever since then, I squat fucking ass to grass.
That 2 plate thing when we were younger is like our stage into becoming a man.
Oh yeah, you thought you were the
Bench
shit.
2 plates. Oh man. Talk to me nicely.
Oh, we're coming up on it. We're coming up on
Uh-oh.
it. Here it comes.
No, it's good that you're talking about this, and you know, I thank you for having me here and something I definitely want to talk more about in the future. Like I have some currently those that are competing, both males and females. And I tell them, you know, besides what we're currently doing, we need to think of an exit strategy. That's really the key. Especially the females. So many of them come up to me with horrible and just screwed up thyroid hormones.
Here we go. Oh, God. All right. So we went from stage,
Lean and mean, baby.
trimmed up,
Yeah.
stage to a couple of days later.
Nothing.
Look, this wasn't even that bad yet.
All right. Still something.
I still have abs, sort of, to a few days late, literally 3 days later, looking like this. All the water had nowhere to go.
Right. It just sits.
And I didn't know how to get it off.
Just sits.
And they're like, I remember my coach saying, like, you have to do, not my coach, it was somebody else. He's like, yo, you have to do cardio, get all that out. I go, I got to do more cardio. That was the last thing I wanted to do.
You did it for 20 weeks.
He's like, dude, you have to reverse out. And then this was later that week.
Wow.
It was like setting in now. It was
Now
like
it's
staying.
really, and it's good that you're young, because what ends up happening is all that pressure, all that buildup, it's got to go somewhere, right? That's going to start affecting your heart. That's trouble. And your kidneys. Your kidneys get tired of all that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Your kidneys get tired of all that.
I'm sure they do. I had no guidance. I had nowhere to go. I had nowhere to turn to because everything's so hush hush in the sport.
That's the thing.
That nobody would speak to me about it. And I didn't know who I could ask because I didn't have the connections I have now. Now I'll fucking hit up like a pro and I'll be like, yo, dude, what's going on with this? And they'll be like, oh, we got to do X. This is it. Why didn't somebody tell me about this when I first started?
Well, that's why I applaud you for your platform that you have, and I give you your flowers in that sense because you have this platform now where you can talk about this.
Yeah.
And
no one's telling me what to and what not to talk about.
You never know who is going to hear it and whose life you'll save, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. But I applaud you and
thank you.
For what you're doing. This is huge to just talk about this. And not many doctors, if they hear me talk about all this stuff, they're going to be like, oh.
Yeah, how?
Why are you talking about all that? Hush, hush.
It's outrageous that he's talking about this. It's like, dude, fucking relax.
So many patients will reach out to me and be like, man, I appreciate you being transparent. Like I said, I have a lot of competitors, believe it or not. And they come up to me and they're like, thank you. Because if I told anyone else, they would just write me off.
Yep.
And like some of them, I've been able to wean them off certain things. And they'll come back a few months later and they're like, I still look good. I need to be taking 800 milligrams of this and that, pinning 20 cc's worth a week kind of a thing.
I heard the peptide stuff is pretty exciting though.
Yeah, peptides is like that new age, it's up and coming. There's a few that are approved.
I know a dude that I know that's doing the growth hormone peptides.
Yeah.
And he loves it.
Ipamorelin, tesamorelin, those are good ones. Because they're analogs. So what does that mean? It's not as if it's the actual hormone, right? It's already going to help produce already what you have, but just more of it naturally.
So it stimulates the pituitary gland.
Exactly. Without ruining the negative feedback. What do I mean by that? Hormones work by negative feedback. Oh, you have too little of this. It's now going to kick back to the pituitary gland and say, hey, I need more. Okay, now we're going to get you more. Hey, I have too much of this. I'm now going to feed back and say, hey, I have too much. Slow it down. At least with the peptides, it's not going to affect that chain because that's how a lot of them get screwed up, especially those that are taking, Cytomel, T3, T4 competitors. I'm sure you know plenty, which is bizarre to me. That screws up their whole, thyroid hormone. So at least with the peptides, it's a little bit safer route, than...
I'd be interested in maybe dabbling with some peptides at some point. I would love to see what happens if I take the growth one.
It goes a long way. A lot of guys
sleep, better sleep, better skin.
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys that microdose growth, but not with a peptide.
Right, the actual GH.
I had a friend that was shooting it right in his stomach. I'm like, I like his abs. I'm like, I don't know if you're supposed to do that, bro.
Sub Q, yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, is it good? I'm like,
whatever it takes, baby.
I'm like, I don't know if that's how you do it, but
whatever it takes, baby.
I'm like, sure, man, whatever you want to do, bro. Yeah, like there's a couple things now that I'm getting up there. It's getting up there. We're so old. We're so old.
We're so old. I know.
No, but now that we're past that 30-year-old mark, and you start seeing levels change,
hits.
and you wanna make sure that you're staying in tip top, because we do perform. We're not just sitting here not doing.
You want to
things.
be optimized. That's my whole goal, is to optimize. Like you said, you're not the average guy. You're up in the morning, working out, training, you're eating food, your meals, this, that, you're working. You're not just at home on the couch all day.
Yo, I gotta show
You're
you.
optimized, you got to be optimized for what you do. And it goes to that stigma that I was talking about, where if you bring these things up, to someone, just general medical doctor, they're going to write you off.
That was yesterday
go.
morning's workout.
Damn. That's pretty good.
For an hour? That's crazy.
That's more than most people in 1 week.
Yeah, dude.
1 week.
Yeah, for an hour. For an hour. And I did that twice. That was a workout in the morning, and then I did the same one at night. And then one at night, I was drenched even more.
And you know what? Even though you were tired, you don't regret it.
I don't regret it.
I say this all the time, and we were kind of talking about this. Like for me, all the times where I'm like, man, I'm dead tired. I don't want to do this. Definitely, once I get started and going, I don't regret it. But also at the same time, like I mentioned, it's perspective. I got patients in the ICU, man, that wish they could wake up at 6 a.m, go run. They got feeding tubes. They're breathing through a vent.
Colostomy bags.
They have someone changing them. They have a Foley catheter, right?
It's a Foley catheter.
So it's pretty much, it
Catheter
goes
right
into the penis, or, to help you urinate.
Yeah.
They're shitting on themselves. They got people cleaning up for them.
It's very demoralizing.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they just want to be able to do these things.
So like these kind of things, I'm like, you know what? Man, I got no excuse. I'm going right to the gym. Horrible workout, better than no workout.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I like to look at it.
Where do we go now from here for the bodybuilding doctor? I want to see. I want to see this branded.
Heard it here first.
I really want to see this branded everywhere.
I plan on it. I would love to, because it's my way of giving back the same way with your platform. And like I said, today I also want to give you your flowers. I thank you for having me on, but I also want to give you your flowers, because look at this platform you created. You're giving back to a lot of these athletes in a sense. I've seen a lot of the athletes that you have here, family from Bev's or ProFit Gym, wherever, all the gyms here on Long Island, Jersey, you name it. And you have this platform, and this is how you're staying relevant in the sport. This is your piece. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not going to step on stage and be Mr. Olympia and blah, blah, blah. But you're helping these guys, with the promotion that you can do with the videos and these kind of things. And that's kind of what I want to do, So I applaud you for that. And that's the space that I want to get into, is to help the community. Like for me, I'm in Jersey, right? I'm here on Long Island for the day. I told you, the only two things I want to do is see you, do this, and go to Bev's.
Let's go.
That's all I care about,
So I'm gonna cut it here, because we've been going for a minute.
Man,
I'm gonna cut it here.
I didn't realize the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it here because I wanted you to get your food. I wanted you to train, everything like that.
Oh man, it's my pleasure.
We're gonna figure out a way to brand.
That'd be awesome.
Bodybuilding doctor. We'll figure something out.
Awesome.
Maybe get you your own show, stuff like that.
Give back to the community.
I think that'd be amazing. I think it'd be really. Yeah. I know it'll be very beneficial.
And to end off, you always hear on podcasts, oh, IFBB needs to do more, or oh, we need to do more. We need doctor checks. No one does anything. So if we can, man, that'd be amazing.
We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna do some cool shit, man.
That'd be awesome.
So on that note, please tell everybody into that camera how they can follow you and talk to you if they want any help or they have any questions.
Yeah, so absolutely. So you can follow me on Instagram. My tag, so my first name, Andrew Shehata. My tag is SHEHATAAA, 3 A's. Because not just one, 3 A's. Yeah, follow me if you ever need any advice. Anything I can ever help you with, don't hesitate. I joined a company as well, Elite Living and Health, where I do a lot of, I see patients on the side as well for these kind of things. So, anything I can just help you become healthier, it's my pleasure, honestly. Say Nikki at checkout.
Yeah, say Nikki at checkout. Say Nikki at checkout.
Riz at checkout.
Rizzle's at checkout. It's not going to get you any money off. We're just going to know.
But yeah, reach out. Don't hesitate. Like I said, it's my pleasure to help whoever it is I can. I don't do it for the money. The money comes, in this profession. It's me knowing I can help someone just get healthier. Longevity of life. That's what it is for me.
Dope, man.
And thank
Listen,
you.
I appreciate you coming through, taking the time, chopping
you.
it up. You're a very busy man, and
Cool.
it's you're just awesome. You're an awesome human
thank
being.
you.
So it was dope chopping it up with you.
This was awesome this was my first podcast.
First of many. First of many.
I thank you once again. Like I said, I give you your flowers as well for everything you're doing here. You're doing
Little by
great.
little, man. We're just building something cool up and just taking our time and having fun while we do it.
Great.
So
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Big episode 40. I'm pretty sure. No. God, I always fuck this up. I think it's episode 50, to be honest with you. I got to start looking at the fucking episodes before I do the podcast. I don't even know what episode this is. It's something because I got carrots. Hold on one second. I want to get this
busy
right.
Week.
This is what happens, man. I forget because I have so much shit going on. Yes, episode 50. Let's go.
There you go.
Big episode 50.
That's a big number,
Dr.
baby.
Andrew, it's a good episode. It's a good time. But once again, thank you so much for rocking with us. Everybody else listening, I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun adventuring down this rabbit hole with us. We're going to do more episodes.
Absolutely.
We're going to do more things, more talks, more insights on how to stay healthy, how to keep yourself in check. But for right now, peace.